right. I think we are live. Looks like it. Looks like it. Just 30 minutes early than what I said at 11. So, Grand Rising, my dude. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm real early. I guess I didn't realize how early I actually was, but I am pretty early. That is true. I don't know. I thought for some reason it was more towards like quarter till. Let's make sure everything is working though. I think people can hear me. Yeah, mic is on. Yeah, we are getting, I guess, an earlier start here. Earlier than what I thought, but it is what it is at this point. So, been a pretty eventful morning. I think some good solid movement has occurred so far. But yeah, the day is young. Only it is now 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, so we're just 30 minutes in. And we'll see how things continue to play out. I'll let some more people get. I don't know. Lower viewers right now, but probably because I said I'd be on at 11, and I'm a whole 30 minutes early. So right now, just this line, I can get out of here. Hopefully everybody's day has gone well so far. And everybody is ideally green. Yesterday was very, very tricky in the morning. Today, I would say not. I'd say pretty standard. I don't know if there's anything that was really too tricky. But yesterday there was that bear flag pattern that did the fake breakdown, then did the fake breakout, then it came back down, and then crushed all the longs that were trying to buy the pullback, and then it went back up. But nothing really like that this morning. So, do I sound all right to people? Give me a 1 in the chat box. Do I sound all right? If you are here and you can hear me okay, hit that 1, right? This is all working. Buck nasty. All right, good. All right, cool. Very good. A little worried the viewers are way down than normal, but I'm also super early, so maybe that has something to do with it. Or maybe just Wednesdays I think Wednesdays have been good, but all right, well, maybe I should not. Maybe if I say I'm starting at 11, I shouldn't get on 30 minutes early. Maybe I should stick closer to getting on when I say I'm going to get on. Maybe that'll be a more accurate way. But, well, it is what it is. Hopefully everybody has done well so far today. Right now we have this pivot point right here, that dotted brown line. Really what I could see as a plan is, do you get short right there at the pivot point, and then you got your stop right above VWAP. So a pretty minimal risk right there as potentially making sense. So I'll keep my eye on that. Let me make sure I got the... Yeah. And then on the 5-minute here, we have an interesting candle that is suggesting that maybe this thing wants to come back down a bit. So definitely an interesting dynamic here on the 5-minute. And then, like I said, very clearly that dotted brown line there, which is a pivot point, has been acting as resistance. So is the short there with a stop loss above VWAP, and you can see VWAP right there rejected the price right back down. I'm not going to take it, just kind of getting my foot at bearings here a little bit, but I could see that being a potential trade plan to have. Like I said, just struggling right now with that pivot point. As a reminder, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to like this, please hit that like button. If you've never been here before and this is your first time, welcome. Fantastic to have you. Don't hit the like button. No need to do that because I totally understand you don't know if you're going to like this or not. But We are once again going for 125 as the goal. So keep an eye, or make sure to hit that like button. Yeah, once again, rejected right off that area. Right off that area. Now, I don't know, even if people got short there since I started talking about it, I wouldn't say this has necessarily been a winning trade because it's not like it's dropped severely below there. Now pushing up slightly above it. Like I said, that's where is the VWAP. Is that kind of the area for the stop loss there? Maybe. What is, actually, I might be interested in this. What is that about? Yeah, about a 10 point. Now it's dropped down too much. I don't know if I want to risk 20 points on it. Let's see how this candle closes. And if I can get a nice candle that looks something like this and then the price wants to come back up, I'd be interested in taking a short on it. But we got to see. Man, quiet group. What is going on right now? Last time I ever get on at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Why you trade MNQ? I trade both. I trade NQ and MNQ. So I trade both. For those people that would just be getting started in futures, you would want to start with MNQ. Whoops. Kind of missed that one. How long have you been trading futures? My community finally convinced me after years. Like I said, the website started, the YouTube channel started in 2013. So like I said, the channel, the community, everything's been around for, over a decade, literally. But I just finally gave it a try back in November. So I've been doing it since November. Now, granted, trading futures, it's chart trading. So I've used charts to trade stocks. I've used charts to trade options. Now I just happen to be using charts to trade futures. So it's all just charts. It's all just technical analysis. But yeah, I would consider myself. How did I get? What was I think I was answering a question. That would have been a great trade. Well, congratulations to anybody that took this trade right here. Like I said, I wanted a little bit more than I don't know, I got distracted. But right there, beautiful trade. Beautiful risk versus reward. But yeah, Nick, been doing it since November, and I was very, very, very skeptical of prop firms for a very long time, but enough members of the community that I trust were like, well, I'm gonna go give it a try. I'm gonna be a lab rat. I'm gonna be a guinea pig. Worst case scenario, I get scammed, and it's like $100 of my money. But yeah, those people have been posting profits and posting getting paid. We had one member, Michelle, go on a 15-day European vacation from prop firm profits. So at that point, I'm like, okay, looks like prop firms. No, of course, there's some sketchy ones out there. That's why you kind of got to do your research and why I only talk about a couple, because they're the only ones I feel comfortable with. But yeah, so prop firms and futures trading since November. What strategy you use for futures? Technical analysis. Same strategies I used on options. It's just pattern. Same pattern, same everything. But what specifically? Because it moves quickly, curls. NQ has nice movement. A lot of people are watching it. As a day trader, we want volatility, and the NQ will certainly provide volatility to you. No, that doesn't mean that the NQ is the be-all, end-all. Some may argue for ES or the MES, but I like NQ. So yes, the VWAP strikes again. You just can't make this stuff up. The power of charts. Rejection, rejection. Now we have a bull flag. So to use the VWAP as the top of it, and then we have this lower area right here, and then we have this big upwards move right there. So there's the bull flag. I don't know if I trust it from the bull side of things, because the overall trend is still down. So I'm not totally sold on the bull flag pattern here, because when you look at here on the, so this is the 2 minute, we're looking at 2 minute time frame. Looking here at the 5 minute, you can see that the overall trend is still very clearly down. I mean, whether that's through drawing a trend line or just looking at the moving averages up here. Pink line 200 period, purple line 50 period moving average, both have downward slopes to them. So like I said, doesn't mean that the bull flag can't work out or anything like that, but just kind of that's where my skeptical nature is coming from. Not quite sure. I'm a huge believer in it. But I will give credit where credit's due. On the 5 minute, now we have another candle, long lower shadow. So every time the bears try to press back down, the bulls have been stepping up to buy it back up. So that does add a very interesting component to it here. So much so that I was thinking maybe this will be my opportunity at a short. But I don't know if I want it for a short now. Because again, when you look at that last 5 minute one, think that it was down here and now it's pushed all the way back up here. I don't know. Does that mean the buyers are on the rise? And from a shorting standpoint, scary to be shorting when the buyers are on the rise. Manuel, good morning. Once again, approaching VWAP. That is the top of our bull flag pattern that I just drawn out there. I'll do it again. So people can kind of, so there's the top part of the pattern, there's the bottom, there's the upwards move. So there's the bull flag, once again knocking on the top of that bull flag pattern. Now it's really just a question of can it break through. If it can break through, again, there's no guarantees. I'm not saying it for sure happens because there's no for sure's, but a break here, is that a realistic profit target? Yeah, I could see that being the next profit target, or area where the price could be headed. That pink line, which is a 200 period moving average. So I mean, again, not guaranteed to happen, but if you're like, Clay, I'm looking to buy the bull flag and I'm looking to take my first profits at the 200 period, I would say, hey, I don't know if it's going to work, but I see the logic. I see the rationale behind it. I would not call you crazy. I would not call you, behaving in just random degenerate ways. I see a thought process behind your trade plan. And that's what it's all about as traders. We need to have a thought process. We need to have a logical thought process. So it has broken out, but, and this is why I don't feel comfortable touching it personally, just because it is still, this bull flag is occurring in a downwards trend still. But to be fair, everything's got to turn around somewhere. So if you think that this is the turnaround point, then yeah, maybe it very well could be. And this thing starts to push higher. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the pattern out there just so we can kind of see it cleaner. Because again, just that VWAP, that's the top part of the pattern that we're using there. So it's hanging, it's struggling. Hasn't been the cleanest of breakouts, but the breakout necessarily hasn't done anything wrong other than it just didn't go straight up. I just switched from trading stocks and it was easy. Just lost count first 24 hours just because lost track of time. You got any reset codes? I do not even know. I don't think there are any codes for resets. Resets are just the flat $100. But yes, so we have yet another person, Andrew, talking about how they used to do stocks and not, well, I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like you enjoyed futures quite a bit compared to stocks, Andrew. Is that fair of me to say that? Or, because like I said, I don't want to speak for you. But yes, I get, I make some pretty bold statements on the live stream, but I can back them all up. The main bold statement being if you are day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading Forex, or day trading crypto, you are wasting. There it is. Boom. Just like that. Well, congratulations. Anybody that took that breakout, there's your first profit target hit. Just like that. Congratulations. And I'm glad I did not short. Why did I not short? Clay, how did you know not to short at that moment? Well, I guess I didn't know because there's no guarantees, but right here, the price had come all the way down, and then the fact that the price was able to be brought back up signaled that, okay, all right, it's looking like there's some buyers out there somewhere. And yeah, there definitely were some buyers out there as the push happened. So that would have for sure have been a losing trade had I taken it short on that time back up. So multiple time frame analysis is the key. And there we go. Andrew saying, yes, trading futures are way better than stocks. But yes, if you're day trading anything other than futures through a prop firm, what we call Pam's plan around here, you are wasting your time. You are taking on unnecessary risk. You are not being very wise with your capital. Curls yesterday was like, hey, can you explain that? That was kind of a big statement. Would you mind backing that up a little bit? And I did. So I know it can be a little bit, wait, what? Did this guy just tell me that I'm wasting my time day trading stocks or day trading future or day trading crypto or day trading options? Did he just say I'm wasting my time? Yes. Yes, I did. You're wasting your time and you're taking on way unnecessary risk. Day trading being the core. That's the category Pam's plant refers to. All right. If the price can push up through, so this area could be difficult because not that far above the pink line, you still then have that area of resistance coming back from these highs right there. But yeah, if the price can clear up through that area, then yeah, I can definitely see the bulls finding some more momentum and kind of getting into more of a groove. Here is the back test, in fact. In. See if we can get a bounce back upwards. So trying to play the back test here. There we go. Take that little scalp. Very good. So it took a quick scalp there off of the back test of the VWAP. For those of you that have been around a while, you hear me talk about this all the time. Back test. When areas are broken, prices tend to back test, and then it's just a question of do they want to go. Now, in my situation, I just took a scalp. But I will tell you, the voices will show up, say, hey, moron, why did you scalp? If this thing keeps on going, I'm going to be very disappointed. On the flip side, if this thing ultimately collapses, then I'm going to say, I'm glad I was a scalper in that situation. So we'll have to let hindsight be our judge. But right now, as it comes down, I'm glad that I chose to scalp. But I will admit, if this thing all of a sudden turns around and starts to get more and more, I'm going to be saying, why did I choose to scalp? Why didn't I let it work for me a little bit more? But as of right now, I'm feeling very good about choosing to have scalped on that move right there. I have no idea how much I made. I don't remember what that number was before I took the trade. But that was a winning trade. And as of now, yes, I'm feeling very good about the scalp. Because for the people that were playing the back test and then wanted to give it more opportunity, they're probably sitting there saying, well, I should have scalped because I had a chance at green, but I didn't take it. To be fair, I'm not saying that those people would have been stopped out yet. I'm just saying that in their minds right now, they're probably wishing they had scalped. But look at that. Right off the VWAP, or excuse me, right off the pivot point, that dotted brown line bounced right off of it. There we go. Now we're getting numbers back up to what would be normal. So yes, I must have just thrown people off by showing up 30 minutes earlier than what I had posted. So for those of you that have been here before, as a friendly reminder, make sure you hit that like button if you know you're going to like this. If this is your first time, then no need to hit the like button. I realize you don't know if you're going to like this, but it's good to have you. Welcome. Do you ever go for more than one position on the same chart? No. You mean like go long and short at the same time? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. So on the 5 minute, all this does make more sense. 5 minute, as I was pointing out earlier, you have these overall moving averages coming down, and that's where that breakout struggled. It did get through them, but yeah, those resistance levels, they don't like to give up. They like to put up a fight. They like to try to drag back down the price, and that is what happened here. So not totally a coincidence that this upwards move is now struggling. Again, I'm not saying the overall upwards move is done. It might need to consolidate out and then make another move upwards, but not totally shocking to see how the 2 minute is behaving again. This is a 2 minute time frame. Not shocking to see how the 2 minute time frame is behaving when you take a look at the 5 minute right here. If I reset my account after 30 days, do I do stuff? I'm not sure what you're asking. I'm not sure what you're asking. If you reset your account after 30 days, do stuff owe? Maybe you mean do still owe monthly? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're asking there. I don't want to answer because if I'm reading your question wrong and answering it based off that, but that's not what you're asking, then I'm going to give you a wrong answer. I'd prefer not to do that. All right. Do I try to buy this pullback again? Maybe. Again, I'm shrinking down my size quite a bit. I have my accounts where I want them. It was a very good day. This account right here, I maxed out. On this account, with the way prop firms work, when you're trying to pass accounts to get them into the pro state, the prop firm I'm using says you're only allowed to make 50% of the profit goal. So let me just set up a little context here to Wait, what do you mean you maxed out your day? So I'm day trading futures through a prop firm, which is what we call Pam's Plant. And on the 50,000 purchasing power account, the goal to pass the test to move from into the pro account, and in the pro account is where you get paid with the profits you make. But first you got to prove you can trade. So how do they define prove you can trade? Well, I've got to make 3,000, but they have a rule, 50% consistency rule, which states in a single day you're not allowed to make more than 50% of the profit target. So not to insult your mathematical mind, but 50% of 3,000 is $1,500. So that's why I say that this account down here is maxed out. Is it even showing up? Let me check on my screen. Yeah, okay, it's showing up. So this account right here, that's why I say it is maxed out. Well, I guess I could go and make $2 more, but so tomorrow though, I just need to make, because the overall got to get 3,000. So I'm now at 52,961. So tomorrow I need to make $39 more, and then that test will be passed. And then just from the prop firm angle, how it works is after it's passed, then you move from the test phase into the pro account, and then pro account, once you start to make money and all that, you get to keep 80% of it. Then of course, if you move, not of course, because if you never heard this and you don't know that, but then in the pro plus account, you get to keep 90%. Well, I want to keep 100%. I mean, that's fine. So, but what do I get out of this? I mean, they're going to keep some of my profits. What do I get? You get downside protection. You get risk protection. Because if something really bad happens and you take thousands of dollars, it's not going to actually cost you thousands of dollars. You know, it would just cost you the cost of the account. So on the 50,000 here, you know, as an example, if you were to lose $2,000, then you fail. Or even in the pro accounts, if you lose $2,000, they're going to take the account away from you. So you have to lose $2,000 in order to lose the account. But do you actually lose $2,000 out of your pocket? No, you don't. You only lose the cost of the account. So if you were to get this account, all you would be out is $119. So that's what I mean is, if you have one of those bad days, and I think we all have bad days as traders, revenge trade, forced trades, we go on tilt, or sometimes you just have a bad day in the sense of you just get caught in a crazy, nasty move, and it could cost you thousands of dollars. Well, with the prop firm world, sure, it costs you thousands of dollars, and if it costs you $2,000, well, then you lose the account. Now, you can always get the account back for $100, but if it's your own money, well, then that's literally $2,000 of your own money gone. But in the prop firm world, you only lose the cost of the account, which in this situation would have been $119. So that's where, yeah, sure, you don't get to keep all your profits, but I think the trade-off of having protection against either yourself when you have those really bad days or just protecting against those really crazy moves, I'd rather one of those crazy or bad days only cost me $100 as opposed to potentially thousands of dollars. A monthly reactivate fee or something, or do I have to time limit to reset? I'm pretty sure you can reset whenever you want. I have the notifications enabled, but it still didn't tell me you were on. Come on, YouTube. Trading's going good, Emmy. Hopefully your day's going well. Let me rephrase it differently. You trade, open, and close. Only one stick time frame at the time on the same. No, I'm watching multiple time frames, Curls. I'm showing everybody here on the live stream the 2-minute time frame, but off my monitor, when I turn my head like this, I have another, what are these? I don't remember. They're either 22 or 27-inch monitors. I have another one right here that I have other time frames of. So I think if I understand, I'm basing my decision on multiple time frames. I don't know what you mean by you trade open and close. I don't know what that means, but that's clear. Okay, good. Yeah. Yep. Trading, you want to learn multiple time frame analysis because you always want to consider several angles. You want to consider several viewpoints before you put your money on the line. And that's how you arrive. You find edges, you find probabilities by looking at multiple angles, or in the world of trading, just known as multiple time frame analysis. But yes, right here, you only see one angle. You see, I guess, what we'll call the 2-minute angle. But over on my other monitor, I have other time frames that I'm looking at. So good questions. Good question. I could get long here. What is this? If I get long right there, 10-point stop. That's $20. I can, like I said, at this point in the day, I'm pretty set on the day. So if I make trades, it's more so just to kind of show people that have never seen futures trading what it looks like. Because I am here to convert those of you that are, if you are a day trader of stocks, day trader of options, day trader of forex, or day trader of crypto, I'm here to convert you to Pam's plant. I'm here to show you the error of your ways because you are wasting your time. You are taking on way too much risk. I know. Wait, did this guy just tell me I was wasting my time? I did, and I can back it up. I can back it up. That is known as Pam's plant. Pam's plant is the best strategy for day trading. If you want to be a day trader, Pam's plant right here is the best way to go about it. And I mean that not an opinion, but like I can prove that to you logically through math. So that's what Pam's plan is just an argument to day trade futures through a prop firm. Day trade futures by using a prop firm. That is what Pam's plant is arguing. No, curls. The 2 minute is just, all that means is each one of these candlesticks represents 2 minutes. That's all that's telling me. I will hold longer than 2 minutes if I have to, if that's part of the strategy. The time frame is just the data. So these are called candlesticks. The 2 minute means this candlestick represents 2 minutes of information. Then this candlestick represents 2 minutes of information. This is the 5 minute, meaning this candlestick represents 5 minutes of information. This candlestick represents 5 minutes of information. So you don't just scalp 24/7? 24/7? Dude, I got 6 kids, man. I got a family. You think I'm going to sit here 24/7? Don't get me wrong. I like trading. I like hanging out with all of you, but my family and friends are a little bit better than this. No, I don't scalp 24/7. Are you crazy? I would encourage you, don't have the goal. I want to scalp 24/7. What? Go outside. Do something. Buck nasty. If I make it to the pro account and make some profit, is that the profit at risk until I would? Yeah. But that's the question, Buck nasty. Once you reach your buffer, then it becomes a question of, do you want to leave money in your account to build your buffer, or do you want to pay yourself? And that's always the great debate. Because in theory, if you build your buffer, you could go out there and take a $5,000 loss, and they wouldn't take your account away from you because you had enough of a buffer. But other people are like, no, don't build your buffer. Just as soon as you start to get those profits, take them. Some people, I'll leave some in for a buffer, I'll leave other. But yes, anything you leave in there, if you then go have a bad day and then you violate the rules of the account, yes, those profits would also be gone. But it's harder to do that, though, because if you have a bigger buffer, well, then it takes you being more of a moron. But if you have, like I said, if you have zero buffer, that means, yeah, sure. Or if you have just the buffer, then yeah, that means you probably put some profits in your pocket, but you don't have much leeway against, a moron day. So there's several ways you can go about it. There's several schools of thought. Well, it's area's holding up here. I mean, we just have but this is my struggle earlier that I talked about. I mean, we have a bull pennant. It's just still kind of in this downtrend atmosphere, but it is starting to get a little bit choppy. So we'll keep a close eye on it. You're welcome, Buck Nasty. Rising wedge possible on 2 minute. On the 2 minute rising wedge. Oh, yeah. I'm assuming something like this is what he's thinking. Ballpark maybe. Is that what you're thinking, kind of 40? Something like that, give or take a little bit? Yeah, possible, yep. $50, $40. Again, talked about this earlier. I'm thinking of a short, but on the 5-minute, this hammer candle here that's forming has me a little worried. So do I really want to get short right now around this area? Potentially. Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. I mean, we have plenty of time, don't get me wrong, but I'm going for at least 2 hours. But if I'm going to go beyond 2 hours, we need to at least get this up to 100 likes. So we have an hour and a half. I'm just saying that a way to communicate that you're enjoying and to keep the party going is the only way I know how to measure that is via likes and super chats. But super chats are pretty few and far between. But like I said, if you're enjoying, just a reminder, hit that like button. I'm going to keep my eye on that trend line right there. Again, I'm glad I did not short for the explanation I just gave. We'll see, though, if it wants to... Yeah, low probability trade here, but if this thing does kind of double top right around here, I'll take that. So I'll go short there. Stop right there. But step one, this is just simply trying to see if it wants to reject. Come up here and then roll back over. If it doesn't, well, then I'm gonna lose. In a situation like that, 2 different patterns at once, which would be the potentially dominant one? OME. If only those are the things that I get into deep and down in the training program, which I know you know about. And I remember you saying, hey, never say never. Maybe I'll join. So great question, but that's a little bit more in-depth of a question that can really be explained here because you kind of got to start with a framework to build that question out. Very good question. But nothing that's really not really suitable for this. I meant, let's say you place a short, assuming after all the market goes down, but it keeps getting up with that bullish period. I don't know what you're asking. Let's say you place a short, assuming the market goes down, but it keeps getting up. I don't know what you mean. You just said the market goes down. If the market goes down, then nothing's going to, quote unquote, get up. I don't know what, but it keeps getting up. What keeps getting up? Because you just told me the market goes down. And if the market goes down, that is good for a short. Oh, I think what you're describing is like position building. You're saying, do I get one contract and then get another and then get another? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're describing. Some would call it dollar cost averaging. Yeah, I'll do that from time to time. All right, getting close to that trend line here. What would that be? 20. It's a 20-point risk. Let's see if it wants to bounce up a little bit and then consolidate out. Yes, that is a strategy. Yeah, I don't mind building positions. Yeah, averaging down and building positions, I argue, are two. Oh, what? Let me cancel that order out. I forgot I had an order out there. But yeah, position building and then just averaging down, I argue, are 2 different things. Yes, mathematically, you're doing the same thing, but it's more of a strategy and attitude. I mean, if you're going in small and you're saying, I'm willing to build, then okay, at that point, you know that you're willing to add some more. But if you're just going in, and it's like, oh man, this isn't working out, let me just buy some more. Oh man, this isn't working out, let me just buy some more. I would say that's just averaging in. That's just averaging down, and that's bad. But position building, you know, like, okay, I'm starting small for the specific reason of I want to maybe build more. Good morning, Moxie. But yes, if you're just dollar cost averaging just for the sake of I don't want to be wrong, that's where things can spin out of control very quickly. Well, this trend line right now is holding up nice on the 5-minute. What's ES up to right now? Ooh, ES has got a pretty spicy trend line. Right there, look at that trend line. That's worth keeping an eye on for sure. I mean, it's not close right now. Now, the one thing you got to be careful with that trend line is if you were to short the break of that trend line, well, not that far below, you have the 50-period moving average, which could provide a bounce point. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you short and you're like, here we go, and then it drops slightly and then bonk, bounces off the 50-period. So you got to be very careful of that via using that trend line right there. So just keep in mind that. Keep in mind that. What are the MNQ here? Yeah. Or is this just going to turn into a chop fest? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't break out in either direction. Maybe it just keeps chopping around. We'll have to see. But I'm in a good spot on the day. Plenty green. So any trades that I take now are going to be small size. If I'm right and I hit a home run, yeah, I'm not going to be making a whole lot on it. But I don't care about that now. I care about my risk. I care about where I'm at. So I'm focused on not how much could I make on any trade, but what is my risk going to be? $90. Feels too much like a chase right now. Too much like a chase. I don't think I ever asked. How's everybody's day going though? How's everybody's day going? Are you green? Are you red? You passed accounts? Blowing any up? No judgments if you blew any up. Blowing up is part of prop firm trading. There will be casualties along the way, so there's no shame in blowing up an account. Yeah, how's everybody's day going? Well, on the 5-minute, the trend line has been broken. Just really a question of doesn't want to get continuation. Let's check on the ES again. Yep, came down on that trend line. It's holding though. Metal down 153 after being up 70. Calls. Are you day trading options, Matt? Matt L, are you day trading options? Am I reading that right? Up 150 today, up 507 yesterday. Nice job, Dan. All right, so far you're trading future options? When you say calls killed me, that makes me think options. Whoa, nice little bounce there. Is the NQ following? Oh, what time is it? 11. Okay, that's kind of a random time for that. Wow. Well, that's disappointing for the people that that are maybe wanting more out of that move to the downside. Again, I mean, from a scalping standpoint, plenty of room on the scalp. Valley, hello. Wow, quite the bounce here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that trend line. I think it served its purpose for now. Let's see. What would that be? 20 to 40. Yeah, $40. Yeah. Was going to scalp it, but lost 200. Was going to scalp it. Oh, so you decided not to scalp it, and then it ended up costing you $200 because you didn't scalp. Gotcha. Yeah, so good situation there. If sometimes, yeah, you'll look back and say, I should have scalped. Super green from 18424. Sounds good, Moxie. All right. What is that? 45 up to 60. That's about a 15-point stop. Yeah, quite the bounce here. Quite the bounce here. No, I went short under the MA, but jumped and gotcha. Thinking about getting short here potentially. Oh, I like this. I like this. Come up and I'll try to catch it on the way down. Come up some more. There we go. Come up a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And my stop will be right above these highs. Try to catch her on the way down. If it doesn't, there we go. I'm in. Now, maybe it suckered me in, which is fine because my stop is very tight, but I'm looking to see if I can catch this on the way down. So is it going to roll back over here? If it's not, then I want out. So this is a quicker trade. Come on. Come on now. There we go. Let's get this into winning territory. There we go. Let me move it down as I go. There we go. Booyah. Booyah. Now, does anybody remember what that number was at? Was it 197? Does anybody? I don't remember. I want to say 197, but I don't want to lie. Is that true? Was that number at 197? I like that. Those are the ones I prefer most. Well, of course, Clay won. Of course, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yes, I prefer those ones because I was a green trade. Fair enough. But I prefer those more where like I'm gonna either get my answer right away or I'm out for a minimal loss. And that was one of those where I didn't have to wait very long to get the answer. It came back down and everything worked out just fine. I think I got yeah. So if that was at 197. Then up green on NS. One short and one long. P&L just under 3K. Very happy. Good job. Yeah, I think that sounds right, Judd. Ooh, I could do it again, really. If this wants to push up and then come back down. Michael Martinez. In the red today after trading in my prop account. Been working on scalping or extended moves at major averages. However, I'm still struggling with taking dumb trades. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing dumb things in a prop account. Much better than doing dumb things with all your money on the line. Hey, BK. Good to see you. Whoops. Well, maybe somebody else took that one. I don't know. We'll see if it wants to come back down, but that opportunity has passed itself. James, hey, how are you? Yeah, so I think I did make $23 on that last one. Let's see. 219.50 minus 197. Okay, so 22.50. So is anybody here like 22.50? Why are you wasting your time in futures? Like, I'm not Clay. You say futures are great, but now you're just like oh, look at that great trade for $22.50. Is anybody kind of like not impressed by that? So in other words, maybe you're a day trader of stocks, you're a day trader of crypto, you're a day trader of options, you're a day trader of Forex, and you're looking at 22.50 and saying, dude, like what? You're talking up futures. That's garbage. Anybody here, like, you're not going to hurt my... I'm just trying to figure out if I need to add a little bit more context to the power of Pam's plant, to the power of day trading futures through a prop firm. MACD line crossing up the zero line. I think I can make out a bullish flag on the 5-minute. All right, BK. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're all on board here right now. Usually I get somebody that doesn't quite understand the power of Pam's plant. They're like, $22. What's the point? It's like you're missing a part of Pam's plant. But Nobody is. All right, so I won't go down that rabbit hole then. Yeah, just choppy right now. So the range traders are having a great old time. I think I made 2 trades so far, if I remember right, so far in the stream. Yeah. I did that scalp on the pullback. Where was that? Right here. I bought the pullback here, scalped out, and then it came down. So that was a win for Team Scalp. But to be fair, sometimes it's all about. Well, what I was just trying to say, like if anybody was not impressed with the $22, my only point was going to be, yeah, fair enough. But on a bear, so on this size account, I made $23 with one contract. But like with the prop firm, again, Pam's Plant, with a prop firm, the lowest you could go is the 25,000 purchasing power, which is $105 out of your pocket, which is key because that's the only amount that you have at risk. So if there's some sort of big old loss, you have a terrible day, yes, you lose the account, but you only lose what the cost of the account was. So if you lose more than $1,500, then yes, they would take the account away from you. You can always get another one for $100. But my point here is like, if you're unimpressed by that $22, well, that was only on one contract of the slower variety. But with the bare minimum, again, for $105, I could have had 30 of those. So if you look at the math there, one contract I made $22.50. Had I had 30 of those, then that would have been a $675 trade. So before it, like, $22, who cares? Yes, that's because I was only using only one of those. But I could have taken that up to 30. Maybe you look at that number and you're like, who cares? Fine, fair enough. Let's go to the other extreme. So for the 150,000 size account of that, you could have had, I had the one contract, but you could have gotten 150. So that same trade, if I made $22.50 per contract and I had 150 contracts, that would have been $3,375. And we all saw how fast that trade was. Now, I'm not saying you go and you just do one with 150 contracts. All I'm saying is that is the power of the movement and of options, and more specifically, the ability to control it at no extra cost. Because to be fair with stocks, you can do the same thing. In stocks, you can be like, well, all you're arguing for right now is more volatility. Like you can get more volatility by increasing your position size. Yeah, but in stocks or anything else, that means you have to pay more money out of your pocket to get more shares, to get more contracts. But not so here. It's a one-time payment of the $252, and then every trade you can start at 1, and then you could go up as high as 150. And that's just not per day, per trade. So I mean, but when you go from one contract to 150, anything else, you have to pay more. It's more money out of your pocket to buy more shares. Here, not the same. It would just stay at that same level. So that is the movement of Pam's Plant, and more importantly, the ability to control it. So that's more so what I was getting at is, yeah, I mean, $22 is like, somebody was like, hey, you can get coffee. But I was more so looking at the angle of just the absolute bigger potential you have via the prop firms. Was that green line a stop limit that you dragged the price until it? Yes, exactly, Buck Nasty. That green line was a stop. Got 160 back so far. Very good. Ben Miller, don't you have to already be consistently good to get funded? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to know what you're doing to pass the test. Absolutely. But I would rather have you in your opening new stage when you're still trying to figure stuff out. I'd rather have you trying to figure stuff out with only $105 on the line. Because if anybody's, I'll just speak for myself, but like I still have really dumb days from time to time, even now. And I've been trading a very long time. But as a beginner, you're going to have dumb days. You're going to do dumb things. That's just part of it. And my point here is that with the prop firm, those dumb days where maybe you get to say, oh, wow, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. How much does the but I learned a lot cost you? If you're using your own money, I mean, it could cost you $1,500 of your money. But in the prop firm, a $1,500 loss does cause you to lose the account, which again, you can get back. But how much did it cost you out of your wallet? Well, 105. So if I'm going to have a whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot, I would rather have that lesson cost me $105 compared to $1,500, which would be the price if you were using your own money. So that's part of Pam's plan here, and just the added risk control, and how you can protect your own money. If you're going to do dumb things, do it within a prop firm. And I should note that the reason, well, how is this sustainable? This is a scam. How can they let you lose $1,500 of their own money when you're only giving them $105? Because this is all in a simulated environment. It's a test. So when you make the money, because some people complain, wait, so I make $1,500, but then I don't get anything part of the test phase? No, you don't get anything because there is no $1,500. It's simulated. Same as there's no actual loss. But that's where, which is actually a very good option. This sounds like a scam, Clay. That's not a sustainable business model. They'll let you lose $1,500 of their own money, yet they're only requiring you to give them $105. That's unsustainable. Very good observation. But this is all happening in a simulated environment. I'm just starting. Can you explain your buy and sell order process? I'm not really sure what you mean by that, Ronnie, but it's very straightforward. You can either trade via the chart, you can click on it, and then you can do a sell or a buy. Or if you don't want to do that, they have buttons right up here that you could use. But I'm not really sure what you. That's the process. Very, very easy. 20 a day would be 400-ish in a month. Who wouldn't be happy with that? I mean, that is true, but that's not quite the point I was trying to illustrate. I was trying to illustrate that $22 was made with one contract. And you could have gone up and used a whole lot more contracts if you were not impressed with that $22. I was hoping somebody would be like, yeah, Clay, I'm not really impressed by that, which is a fair point. Like, dude, you're talking up futures and then you show us making $22. I was hoping somebody would fall into that kind of trap, if you will, because that would say, fair point, but that was only one contract. You could go up as high as 150 with that certain account. Hey, Clay, do you have any information on why MNQ surged about 200 points 5 to 7 hours ago? I do not. 5 to 7 hours ago, I have no idea. Nope. That makes total sense. Thanks. Good, Ben. Yeah. Clay, do you see any advantage to eventually transitioning to utilizing your own capital in order to experience the true psychology of putting your own money on the line? You mean like not use a prop firm at all? Are you saying that are you saying that true psychology is only possible if you're using your own money? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding kind of what you're actually saying. It sounds to me like you're saying, yeah, Clay, but if you want to get the test of true psychology, you should just use your own money. Like the only way you're going to ever get the test of true psychology is if you use your own funds. Okay, start with a prop firm while learning, then, yeah, but why? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to use your own money and take on all your own risk? Now I realize, well, Clay, because I don't want this. The rebuttal I think to that would be, well, because Clay, if you use your own money, then I get to keep 100%. Whereas in this situation, you only get to keep 80% of your gains. In this situation, you're keeping 90% of your gains. But if you use your own money, Clay, you get to keep 100% of your gains. That is true. But who takes the losses? Who takes the losses? I agree, you're going to get only 80%. But if you're using your own money, who takes the losses? You take it 100%, right? Because if you're using your own money and you have a bad day, you just lose your mind, right? Because the true psychology gets to you, and we've all been there. Like, I can't say we've all been there, but every trader I've ever spoken to admits, yeah, I got greedy, I got stupid, I lost my mind, I forced trades, I revenge traded. You just have a terrible, stupid day. Well, in that situation, sure, on the good days, you get to keep 100% of the gains. But would you rather only being able to keep 10% of the gains? Or, losing 10% of the gains, or a situation where, like I said, if you lose your mind, and, on this size account, you lose 3,000, yes, in the prop firm world, they'll take the account away from you. But it didn't cost you that amount. Out of your pocket, it only cost you the cost of the account, right? Sorry. It only cost you $231. So yes, in a prop firm, you don't get to keep 100% of your profits, but you're also not absorbing 100% of your losses. And to me, I would rather sacrifice a little bit of profits for the trade-off of not having 100% of my capital at risk. Because again, like I said, $3,000, it will knock you out. That's a rule violation if you lose more than $3,000, but it's only $230 out of your pocket. Whereas if it's your money, well, see you later. There's $3,000 of your money gone. Now, I don't know. Maybe some people are like, no, no. Whoa, we're missing this. What time is it? Was there news? No, I don't think it had anything to do with CPI, Moxie, because that was more than 5 to 7 hours ago. But right here, did Trump tweet? Wow, look at this move on the 5-minute. But boom. Does that make sense, Pelovet? Like how I would argue, you should never want to go and use all of your money. Like, take the trade-off. Like, yeah, you can have 10% of my gains if you're going to protect me from, thousands upon thousands of dollars of a potentially really bad day. Oh, no need to apologize. That's a great topic. And that's a more than valid, like, I get it. Like, that's a very valid, wow. I almost want to chase this for a scalp. Scalp some momentum here. But at this point, we'll see if it wants to build out. So at this point, let's see if it wants to maybe give me a little bit of a pullback. And at that point, with a pullback like that, I'd be able to do that and we'd have a bull flag. But right now, let's let this thing kind of figure out what it wants to do. Yeah, see what happens when the MACD crosses through the 0 line? Okay, BK. All right, BK, I don't want to speak for you, but surely your argument is not that all you do is you buy when the MACD crosses through the 0 line. That's not what you're saying, is it? Your claim is not trading. Trading is as easy as just buying when the MACD crosses through the 0 line. That's how that kind of comes across. Yeah, see what happens when the MACD crosses through the 0 line? Like, are you claiming that happens every time? Are you claiming like that's all you have to do? I don't think that's what you're claiming. Okay, good. No, you said no. Thank goodness. Whew. Nothing more scary than somebody shows up and they're like, I figured out the strategy. You watch the MACD, and then when the MACD has crossovers, you buy. And there you go. My friend, if only it were that easy. If only all you had to do was wait for some lines on an indicator to cross, and then you buy, and then it's just rainbows and butterflies. If only it were that easy. Unfortunately, it is not. But that's not what you're saying, so I'm glad to see that. Clay, I passed a 150K test today. All thanks to you. Good job, Richie. Good job, Richie. 150K pass. Fantastic. Rough on that moved at that time. I believe it's pre-market openings for brokers. Yeah. Again, if you have not hit that, wow, we're not even at 50 likes yet. If you have not yet hit that like button, please do. We're going for 125 today, and we need to get up to 100 by the 2-hour mark. So yes, in all actuality, we're basically at an hour. I'm going 2 hours regardless, but I just want to use my time wisely, and I kind of gauge if my time is wisely by are people still interested, and I gauge if people are still interested by 2 metrics, likes, and then super chat. So we still have over an hour, or we still have basically an hour to get this up to 100 likes, but if you have not hit that like button yet and you're enjoying, make sure you do that. These indicators just help with, I get it, BK. Like I'm aware of the MACD. And it sounds like the MACD is part of your process, which is great. I'm still waiting for you, BK, to map out some trades. Tell us where you're buying or where you're shorting before you do it, and then let us know some price targets, where your stops at, stuff like that. I'll map one out on the chart here, and we can see how you do. James, I'm activating my pro account. I know there are some rule changes, one of which is mean I can't trade news. How do I make them? They'll email you, James. Whenever there's a news event that they don't want you trading, they will let you know. All right, we are starting to get a bit of a pattern built out. So we'll see if this wants to develop some more. 5 minute right now. That candle's looking spooky. That's a spooky looking candle there. But we'll see how it wants to continue to build out here. So I did mention the 100 likes, or we'll do, if we can get 20 bucks in super chats. So either 51 more likes in the next hour or a total of 20 bucks in super chats, and I'll use that as a gauge of interest and if people want the party to continue. So we still got an hour, but like I said, if you have not used your like to hit that like button, make sure you do that if you're enjoying. Hopefully everybody is noticing. I don't know if it's made a difference, but I got fiber internet yesterday. First time on fiber. I have crazy upload speeds now. I know upload is an important thing for streaming, so I don't know if anybody's noticing a difference or not, but we are on fiber. I usually use Market Watch or something similar to look at the day's news. Yeah. Yeah, well, the ones that they don't want you trading, they'll email you about. And that's few and far between. Okay, I'm going to go for a buy down there at that green line. See if I can buy this pullback here. Ah, good one, Emmy. Dad joke. Dad joke alert. We got some dads in the chat room dropping the dad jokes. Okay, approaching my entry point, which again is that green line. Quite the pullback here. Oh, dirty. All right, I'll cancel that one out. It's putzing around here too much now where I wanted to get filled, so. Well, try to buy that pullback. Didn't quite come down enough. I can adjust. I'll put a new order down there. I'm not interested at the 200 period anymore. Let me move that down to right there. I like that area. So if this pullback wants to come down some more, I would be interested, but. And at this line right here, which is essentially where it bounced off of, that is just these previous highs from over here. So classic example. Right now it seems as this former area of resistance, which you can see right there when it was broken. They really got things moving. But as of now, that former area of resistance is now acting as a support. So that's just, I mean, that's textbook technical analysis right there. Still interested in this trend line, though. Let me extend this out here. Maybe we can indeed get another break. I would not buy it on this candle because, I mean, if you buy it, the breakout here and it's on this candle, then, I mean, basically your stop is essentially way down here. But if it can consolidate out a little bit and then get a break right here, then you're going to have a much smaller risk profile, which is what I would prefer. But yeah, this thing coming up here and breaking on this exact candle, that's going to be a no-go for me. Relax, Aradu. Hey, where have you been? Good morning. Good to see you. All right. Well, so yeah, right. In fact, let's get this other part drawn in here because this is looks like we officially have. Just because I can't help myself, let's make this a little bit more proportionate. There we go. Got ourselves a bull pennant now. Bull pennant pattern is in play. Resistance, support, big move up. For the golfers in the room, put the golf hole down here. We got ourselves a bull pennant pattern. Family. Oh, well, hopefully everything is settled down or whatever's going on there, but good to have you back. All right, there's a bull pennant. Now, just because before somebody's like, oh, it's a bull pennant, that means this thing's guaranteed to go up. I didn't say that. No guarantees in the market. It is a bullish pattern, but bullish patterns don't mean that for sure something is going to go up. Uh-oh. Trading views. No, still have internet. My Trader V just sketched out for a minute there. I think, yeah, you're all still here. Matt, you never clarified. Why earlier did you say calls? Are you trading options? Or are you trading futures options? All right. There is the pennant. Matt said he's going to full port. What is, oh, port? Does that mean, is that short for portfolio? Is that just a way of saying all in? Like full portfolio buy? I'm an old grumpy guy. I don't know the cool kid lingo. Gotcha. I don't know why you just don't say all in. It'd be full port buy. All right, Matt is all in, and I don't learn it from these kids. These kids get off my lawn. I'm trying to sprinkle my lawn. Kids, get off of it. All right, we'll see if the price can make a push up through the bull pennant here. Is anybody in this right now? Or is anybody looking to buy the breakout? What are people's thoughts on this right now? How are you looking to play this? Is the ES doing something similar? All right, ES has the pivot point up here that's kind of serving as an area. So you're already in right now, Matt, or you're going to buy the breakout? Oh boy. So you're one of those guys, huh, Matt? That's throwing out end-of-day predictions when the market doesn't close for another 5 hours. I love people like you, Matt. It's 9:31. The market just opened. Prediction for close. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's totally just an absolute guess on your part, but I mean, it's a fun game to play. But I love people making end-of-day predictions when there's still like 8 hours left in the day. It's good stuff. You know, it's like Monday morning at 9:31 a.m. Eastern when the stock market just opens up. And then people are like, end of week prediction. It's like, all right, cool, man. Let's see what you got. End of week prediction. Uh-oh, bottom of the pattern. I keep getting so greedy and picky. I'm like, no, I want to buy right at the 200 period. Even though it just tested the bottom part of the pattern here. Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday, this crowd is yeah, this is unique. This has been, I don't know. I might have just messed up the live stream by starting way earlier than what I said. I mean, it was 30 minutes earlier than I started. But we start off with a super small crowd. So yeah, I don't know if I messed with the algorithm or what, but it has been definitely slower today, and the likes are way far behind. So I'm almost thinking this is a self-inflicted wound on my part. So this may be just a 2-hour stream. 45 likes away, and we have 51 minutes, which doesn't seem like it'd be that big of a deal, but like I said, I don't know. This is a self-inflicted wound, I think. Unless the live stream is just dying that quick. Like, hey, everybody, it was a good 2.5 month run. All right, I think now I'm back, right? I think I'm back. Well, that's not good for the fiber. I had to reset it, but I don't know why. All right, well. Man, we were in a good groove, too. We're up to like 80-something viewers. Thought we were making our way maybe to push up the 100 mark. And then the momentum just died. So all I had to do was reset it at the core, but well, that's never a good sign. So let me get logged back in here, and well, hopefully it doesn't occur again. I guess on the bright side, I know how to. The technician yesterday was like, yeah, and if this happens, you know, all you got to do is here. I was like, okay, but none of this stuff happened. No, this stuff doesn't. No, I'm long right now. Oh boy. I am long and down $38. Great. Where am I even long from? Oh, that blue liner. Okay. All right. Okay. Ooh, we're right at the 50. There we go. Look at that. It gets rejected right at the blue line. Right where I want it to go. And it gets rejected there. See if it wants to make a push. Again, blue line is, it's right at the 50 period on the 5 minute. So I like that. Come on, push. Slightly above. That was such a... It kind of just dawned on me. Clay, let's recap the situation here. You're on tilt, and you're on tilt because A, your internet went out that you just got yesterday and that you were all excited about. B, you left an order open that happened to get filled while your internet was out. And C, that order that happened to get filled while your internet was out was now deep in the red. So you know what? Let's just try to make it green. So that was tilt, everybody. That was tilt. Because if I'm honest, if that thing came down some more, I was ready to buy some more. And if I'm, as much as I don't want to admit it to myself, if that thing came down some more, I was going to buy some more. That is why when it started to go green, because there was more like, this thing, oh, it better give me a big bounce. But then finally kind of reality slapped me and said, Clay, you're on tilt right now. Like, you are on tilt. Just get out, take the green. So that was totally tilt. Oh, I'm so just, again, one thing. So there's a real life example of tilt. Stupid internet goes out that I just got yesterday. And it goes out when I have an order out. That order gets filled. And of course, it doesn't fill me and then go in my direction. It fills me and then keeps dropping. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to make this work for myself. And I would have kept buying and buying. Really, like I said, I don't want to admit it, but I will admit it. I think I would have just kept buying and buying and buying. And that was either going to be I blow up this account or I have a green trade. I think that's where my mentality actually was, which is terrible. But That's the emotions of trading. And not even that was a trade. That's just how life can bleed into it. Like I said, I'm still very frustrated. I haven't even had this for, I haven't even had this for 24 hours yet. And I already had to go down and reset it. Does anybody here have fiber? Is this like a common thing with fiber internet? Should I be ready to have to reset this thing once a day? Or is this just like an Iowa thing? I'm new to Iowa. It's just like, does Iowa just have terrible internet? So I will not be trading for I'm ranting right now. I get it. I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. So this is not the right mental condition to be trading in. Just got fiber a week ago, was a little sketchy for a few days. So, but it's become less sketchy now, force fed. FTTH should be reliable. I don't know what. Listen to all you IT geeks out there. None of us normal people understand any of these abbreviations. It's like when you talk to military people, and I love military people. My father-in-law, brother-in-laws, they like start like giving me all these abbreviations. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Yes, I'm emotionally on tilt right now still. So frustrating. Not even 24 hours and this thing already went out on me. And I got somebody telling me what FTTH should. I don't know what that means. Does anybody here know what FTTH means? Unless you're in the IT industry. I had issues when I first moved in, and there will be a lot of construction going on. Oh boy. Well, I still do have my old internet, I guess coaxial, because I haven't called that to cancel that yet. So we'll see how this goes. One thing that I think helped, I replaced the Ethernet cable that went from the modem to the router. Coincidence or not, more stable and speeds increased. All right, well. But seriously, you owe for whatever that is. What does FTTH stand for? Relax, Ardu. I just admitted that. Is there how like, yes, I'm on emotional tilt. I'm frustrated. Yes. Thank you, Relax, Ardu. I already admitted that. That's why I'm not trading. That's why I got to calm down. I got Oh, great. I got fiber and hate it. Short little outages are a killer for trading. I ended up getting a dual WAN router and have 2 ISPs. Well, this is not very encouraging. So is fiber known to kind of have its sort of temporary things? It means fiber to home. So what is fiber to home should be like? Do I not have fiber to home? What do I have? Fiber to the home. What is that? Yeah, I have no idea what that. I think I have that. Like I have fiber to my home. I mean, Starlink is garbage compared to. Well, I guess if Starlink stays connected, but I mean the upload, like I said, upload speed is important for live streaming and for like when I upload YouTube videos and stuff like that. And Starlink has pretty sketchy upload speeds. So what even happened with this pattern? We were watching that bull pennant, it broke. Where's my buy at? I don't even remember. Was it right here? I don't remember where I had it. But then, yeah, went on tilt. I'm glad I got out on that. Or was it that move that got me out? I don't remember. Oh, man. Yes, and the other reason I was on tilt was because I was watching the concurrent viewers, and we're at like 83, 84, I think. I'm like, okay, we're making a push. We started off really slow. We're up at 80 people now. Maybe we're going to get up over 100, which is not really totally common at this stage in the live stream's journey. So that was the other thing that had me on tilt too. Our momentum got killed, and now we're back to 60. The concurrents were going up. Thought maybe we got a chance at 100. And then the internet goes out. So not only there was just a multitude of variables that put me on tilt. But yes, that was tilted trading there, everybody. I don't want to admit it. For credibility's sake, maybe I should have just played it off like that was all intended. Like, this is all part of the plan. Oh, yeah, see how, no, that's not what it was. That was tilt. Totally tilt. FTTH just means an optical fiber cable over, right, and that's what I have right now. Fiber is the fiber optical. Copper base would be like coaxial or DSL, right? China now faces 245% tariff. That doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Meaning, and China was accurate. Like, last week, they're like, China, we're done raising our tariffs rates because the current tariff rates have already priced American goods out of our market. So there's no point in raising them any further because at the current level, all American goods are already priced out of the Chinese market. So like there's no point. It's all just like it's smoke. It's you know, it's nothingness. It's just hoopla. So yeah, 245% tariff. Like that doesn't mean anything at this point. Like Chinese items will be priced out of the American market. So moving them higher, it doesn't. They've already been priced out. Goods are going up. They're too expensive. They're going to get more expensive. What's up, Clay? You helped me understand trading and strategies. Just want to check in and see how things are. Thank you, Ben. I'm glad to hear that. Things are not going so good for me right now. I just escaped a tilt trade. I'm on emotional tilt right now because of my internet provider and because we killed the momentum of the stream and because I got filled and then I was underwater. I just... man, I was... I'm glad I cut that thing. Look at this 5 minute. And that was a beautiful pattern. That was a nice pattern. Like if you bought the bottom of the pattern there and you're thinking, I think it's going to come down to the pattern, then bounce up and maybe get a break. That I see what you did. Like I don't, you're not crazy at all. All I will say is I hope you had a stop loss because if you bought this and then went and started averaging down and making stuff up, trying to fix something, then yeah, you probably roasted your account. Hopefully it's a prop firm account so that you just lost your account and not thousands of dollars of your own money. But yeah, that was a rough one and a good example of why risk management matters. Because people trying to buy this pullback here, again, totally valid, totally logical. There's nothing crazy about you doing that. But yeah, sometimes they just don't work and they can work out very, very terribly. So very good example here of just the dangers of not having risk management. Okay, waiting to short the bounce. BK dot. Give us at what price? At what price? Give us where are you going to short the bounce? That is way more impressive when you can tell us things beforehand, other than coming back and telling us what you already did. So where? You're waiting to short the bounce. Okay, where are you going to short the bounce at? Like at what point are you saying the bounce is done and then you're getting short? That's what I would like to know. You don't need a price when the 1348. No, I need a price. Like what price are you getting short at? That's what I'm asking. Like after prices move down and you're like, yeah, I've been short. It's like, okay, well, okay. No. I don't want to know when you're short. I want to know before you get short. Because it's very easy to be like to make everybody look good when you're like, I'll tell you when I get short. I'm short. Oh, where did you get short at? Oh yeah, like way up here. Tell us the price like beforehand. And then tell us your stop loss. And I'll mark it here. We'll see how it goes. What I'm asking BK dot is, where is your short entry? What level? And also, where is your stop loss at? And I'll mark those out on the chart, and we'll see if it happens. I don't want to know when you're short. I want to know before you get short and at what point you're going to be getting short. That's what I'm asking. Day 2 on my TBD 50K account, up 12. Nice. Yeah. I got my 50K is maxed out too on the day. So I can't, well, I guess I could make $2 more on that one. But yeah, that one's pretty much maxed out. You got a little wiggle room there, Zane, but I don't blame you for not wanting to push it any further. I thought it was going to bounce from the bottom of the flag. Glad I had a stop loss. Exactly, Relax Ardu. A good learning lesson there of why risk management matters, because I will say this and I'll continue to say it. If you bought the pullback here to the bottom of the pattern, thinking, I think it might bounce and then get the breakout, totally valid, totally logical, especially when you have the 200 period moving there. I see what you did. but there's no guarantees. And unfortunately, that one just did not work out. But if you went on tilt, if you decided that you're not going to honor stop losses or average down, then like I said, hopefully you're just on a prop firm account because you got roasted. That account is gone. If you're using your own money, well, then you were down thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. That is just a, wow. From a beautiful pattern to that, nasty, nasty. I can't think of a better real-life case study of why you've got to have stop losses, why you've got to be disciplined and have risk management. What are you thinking about getting short? No, I haven't been short. Oh, my goodness. I don't know how... Does anybody else understand what I'm saying to BK? He keeps saying, I'll let you know when I'm short. I don't want to know when you're short. I want to know before you get short where you are planning on getting short and where your stop loss is. Honest question. Do you guys understand what I'm asking of BK? Because he keeps like saying the thing that I don't want to know when you're short. I want to know where you plan on getting short before you get short, and I also want to know your stop loss. Honest question. Am I not explaining myself clearly in what I'm asking from BK? Because BK, I don't know, is he like gaslighting me? He keeps making it seem like he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, that's kind of what it comes across as, Matt. He wants to be short in the money before saying. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Okay. Then I don't know how else to say what I'm trying to ask you, BK. Everybody else understands what I'm saying. Today's action is a little bit of a struggle for me. And if I missed your message, I apologize. I'm trying to catch up. 29 more likes to get this up to 100 so we can keep this party going. Although we did have a little bit of a 10-minute drop. So, but yeah, if you have not yet, hit that like button so we can keep the party going. Reasonable what you're saying, but can't plan when you're going to be a short if you don't see the market conditions first. That's completely false. I could plan something right here. I could say I'm going to get short if the price comes up to the VWAP and my stop loss is going to be right there. There we go. That's what I'm saying. Okay, where's your stop loss at, BK? I guess BK is short right here. Where's your stop loss at? Yes, there you go, Prudzy. Where's your stop loss at, BK dot? Okay, well, this isn't working. I mean, I'm glad that it seems as though the short's working. I'm just saying this is... just 20 ticks. 20 points or 20 ticks? I wish people would just talk in points. It makes everybody's life so much easier. So if it's 20 ticks, then what is that? Then how many points is that? 10? No, wait, 20 divided by 4 is what? 5. So he's looking for 5 points? Yeah, 5 points. Well, I think you got it there, didn't you? I don't know where you got in at, but that looks like you got 5 points there, I think. Ooh, maybe not. Yeah, Frank, 5 points. Yep. Uh-oh, BK. Hopefully it comes back down for... I don't know. Maybe you got... I don't even know where you got... You just said short. I have no idea where you got short at. I just tried to eyeball it. Yeah, 5 points. Yep. If anything, I'm thinking long here. I will give BK a shout out. He didn't quite go do it where we could track it, but hey, He, for the most part, put his he's not hindsight armchair quarterbacking. He got in right around here. So you got to give credit where credit's due. Possible bounce at 388.85. Mox 388.85. What are you? I think you might be looking at something different, Moxie. But I would assume if it comes up through 80 here, then BK would be stopped out if he's got a 5-point stop. Yeah. So BK, I'm assuming that was a losing trade for you. All right. Well, we'll get rid of that. That's just yeah. That was a rough one. Beautiful pattern. Didn't work out, and then it really didn't work out. What do you? Your stop is at the latest swing high? Your stop is way more than 5 points then. BK, I'm so yeah, I'm very confused. I thought you said you were going for 1-to-1, so you had 5-point stop. Now you say your swing high, so it's way up here. They have a section under pro account rules and guidelines section. So Algobot, I can't scalp, take couple second trades. I mean, they say that, James, but I've gotten payouts, and I've done a whole lot of scalping trading like that. Yeah. Oh, you're on the ES? Man, what is that movie? That would have been good to know yesterday. Oh, yeah, what is that, Billy Madison? Or is that Happy Gilmore? That would have been good to know yesterday. That would have been nice to know yesterday, or before you told us all, BK, that you're trading the ES, not the NQ. We're watching everything on the NQ here. What is that? What is that from, Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore? That would have been good to know yesterday. What is that movie? Our movie boat or movie quote buffs. Which one is that from? Hey, Evil Shaddix, thank you. Trading on the pro account. Got to hit buffer now. Nice. Up 650 on the pro. Let's go, Evil Shaddix. Good job. Oh, it might be Wedding Singer. Yeah. Because when the bride or his fiance breaks up with him. Yes, yeah. That would have been nice to know. Yeah. We just had a Wedding Singer moment here with BK Dot. That would have been nice to know before you started telling us all that. So the question now, is this a dead cat bounce? Because here we're getting, I mean, it's bouncing, fair enough. But what was it doing before the bounce? Well, it had this big move down. So we're actually looking at a bear flag pattern. Does the bear flag make a move to the downside? All right, BK is stopped out. Well, good discipline, BK. I'm on NASDAQ, but my price is a little different. Gotcha, Moxie. Gotcha. All right, coming back down. Do I want to? I don't know. I think I'm okay. I think I'm off emotional tilt now. My stop would have to be above 600. So I'd like to see this bounce off, and then if I can get a candle like up around here, that way my risk profile is smaller. Because the stop's got to be above 600 for it to make, in my opinion, for it to make sense. But if I short down here on this break, then my stop's got to be way up there. So hopefully this can stay above it. Give me another little consolidation candle, and then make the move. So that's what I'm looking for. But obviously, feel free to disagree. We'll see what it wants to do here. In fact, I'll draw out the top, or where's this? We'll make this right here. So that's basically the top part of the pattern. So we got a bear pennant, top of the pattern, bottom of the pattern. There we go. Golfers, add in the golf hole. So upside down pennant pattern, that is a bear pennant. Like I said, I wanted to see it stay above that though. Do you not use a Fibonacci retracement? Sometimes. Sometimes I do, yeah. But this is not one of those times. Well, it's below the level, but I'm not sure I'm trusting it enough to take it. All right, now we got a bit of a, yeah, right there. What is that? 72? Is that the short spot? I mean, I got, yeah, 60 points. Or, yeah, not 60 points. Yeah, what am I saying with my life? So, right there, 25 points. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. We'll see if we can get the breakdown. If it wants to come down to that area. Because the breakdown through there would be a little bit more confirmation of the breakdown of this trend line right here. Oops, don't want to do 4 though. There we go. Red line is my entry if it wants to go down there and hit that. We'll see what it wants to do though. Well, as of now, bounce back up. So yeah, I like this area as an area of support. If the price can fall back below there. All right, well, it's maintaining up so far. So yeah, watching to see if it wants to break down through that support. I do have an order to get short right there. But I do like at this point, because if the price now comes back down, think about how that's got the bears feeling, or the bulls feeling. They're all excited right now. Got a big green candle. In fact, I may do something a little different here. No, let me just do that. Yeah, if this wants to come, it's got to come up through here and then come back down. And then I'd be interested in a short. But step one is it's got to make a push up through here, because I want there to be a breakout, but then I want to see if it's a fake breakout. But as of now, nope, it's just coming right back down. Do you really short the break now when the move started up here? Again, right off that line again. Right off of it goes. So we definitely now have a very well-defined channel here. Well, we have the top of the channel. What is going on with my top of the channel, bottom of the channel? So there is the channel right now. Those couple areas, a lot of people watching, and it's just a question of who's ultimately going to break down. Yeah, I don't like having to have my stop all the way up there, so I'm not going to take it here. If we can get a couple if we can get a couple candles that go like this, and then I can just put my stop right there, that's different. Down for sure. Oh boy. We have a guarantee. So C is all in. C is all in. He has everything in this trade. Right, C? You're all in right now? Your entire portfolio? If you're using a prop firm, it's maxed out. Your account is maxed out right now? See? Is that what I'm understanding? You are maxed out on the short side. Okay, BK dot is also maxed out to the downside. That doesn't answer my question. You're all in with all 15 accounts, see? Is that what you're saying? You're all in? All 15 accounts maxed out. Is that what you're telling me? See? Okay. He's maxed out. All 15 accounts. Yeah, where's your stop loss at, see? C is maxed out. He has no more room to add in any of those 15 accounts. He is maxed out. Where's your stop loss at? $18,620. All right. I'm not sure why you have a stop loss. Why do you have a stop loss in C? SEAW. Why are you using a stop loss? Why are you using a stop loss? Oh, see. What do you mean you're scared? I sent... What is it I smell? I think we call those contradictions. Just above you said, it's for sure going down. So if it's for sure going down, why are you saying you're scared? Come on, C. Where you at? Where you at, C? Yeah, I smell a contradiction here. It's for sure going down. I'm scared. You're scared of what? It's for sure going down. You guys smell that contradiction too? Or do I got a cold? Do I got a cold? Are my nasal passages stuffed up, or do you guys smell a contradiction too? C. There's no maybe anymore. You're confirmed. Contradiction. It makes no sense to say, oh, it's for sure going down. If that's the case, then there's no need for a stop loss first off. But the fact that you're using a stop loss because you are scared clearly shows that you don't actually think it's for sure going to go down. You smell something else? I smell a contradiction. But yeah, that line that I drew several candles ago, it continues to hold steady. Continues to hold steady. It's a stubborn one. It's a stubborn one. Yeah, his house is probably mortgaged. I mean, we all know he not all 15 of his accounts are maxed out. I mean, we get that. I mean, I guess maybe they are. Maybe they are, and I don't. I mean, it all made sense. I was like, oh, it's for sure going down. So you're maxed out. Yup. Okay. That shows he believes it's for sure going down. But then the contradiction sniff showed up when he admitted to using a stop loss and then being scared. No, see, there's nothing to see. You do not think that this is for sure going down. You don't think that. You don't believe that. Like, that was my only point. Now, you think it has a likelihood of going down. Fair enough. You feel that there's chances. You feel that there's something in the market that gives it odds of going down. Hey, I'm good with that. But you in no way, shape, or form believe for sure it's going down. That was my only point. My only point. Not a huge fan when people show up and speak in certainties like that. Yeah, there's nothing to see here. My only point was there's nothing that's for sure going to happen. And you prove that to us all by using a stop loss and admitting to being scared. There lies in the contradiction. Hey, if he's in and it goes down, good. No, I agree. Good for him. I'm just saying he doesn't actually believe what he's typing in the chat room. I said based on analysis, for sure. That doesn't mean anything. Analysis, and get it, don't get me wrong, I love charts. I love me some charts. But there is no such thing as a pattern in charts. There is no such thing as a situation in charts, in technical analysis, that makes something quote unquote for sure. Are we allowed to trade today at 1:30 p.m.? Well, I don't know. That would depend on your I'm assuming you're asking from a prop firm standpoint. How often do you go live? Been doing it for the past basically 2.5 months now. at 11 a.m. Eastern. No, I'm with you. See, I see why you would be short. I get it. Like, I don't think you're crazy at all. My only nitpick was don't ever say something is for sure. Nothing is for sure in the market. That was my only nitpick. But I'm all with you. I see why you'd want to go short. I get you. But am I going to sit here and be like, the price is for sure going down because I'm looking at this pattern? I would never say that because there's no such thing as a for sure in the markets. That was my only thing. I don't think you're crazy one bit for believing the price might go down. But believing the price might go down is a much different statement than saying the price will for sure go down. I'm short still, but given how my morning has gone, assuming it's going to spike back up. So you're having one of those mornings, huh? I hear you. Now, this isn't the most encouraging situation. Looking over in the 5-minute. That's quite the hammer that formed. I don't know what news. I mean, I know Powell's speaking at 1:30. Yeah, no, that candle's got me a little worried on the 5-minute. Nice hammer candle there. So I'm going to sit this one out. Again, if you're enjoying, let's get this up to 100 likes. We'll keep the party going. I did have an internet issue, so I won't make it strictly at 2 hours because I haven't been here for 2 hours. But yeah, if you have not hit that like button, we're going for 125 likes today. We're kind of a little behind, but to be fair, I did have an internet issue. But if you have not yet and you're enjoying, please do hit that like button. It really does help out. Good morning. I thought I lost you. You did lose me earlier. I had the internet issue, but I am back. Nothing that a little reboot didn't. I just lost my temper, went short, and waiting for the blow up. So you went on tilt too, huh? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Hopefully it comes down for you, but yeah, it's looking relatively strong right now. I mean, the 5 minutes suggesting at this point it's got a good chance to get up to that 50 period. Right there. Now, what it does at the 50 period, I don't know. And I'm not saying it's necessarily going up to there. I'm just saying I don't think anybody at this point would be shocked if the price does now visit that 50 period up there. Everyone's on tilt today. Markets at chop range fest all because of Papa Paul. I would argue because of somebody else, but I like Powell these days. I think he should raise interest rates, but that's a conversation for another day. What does the right side of the screen tell you? Nothing. I don't use it. I just know that some people use it, so I put it on there for their sake if they like to track it from that perspective. Full tilt. I was 51,750. Now I'm at 4. Yep, that's pretty big tilt there, Emmy. But no judgments for me. For those of you that were here earlier, I had that tilt trade that I explained and walked through. For me, though, I'm glad that I recognized it and just like, what am I doing with my life? I'm on tilt. Just get out. And I don't even know what I made. Like $20. I don't even remember. But I was on tilt earlier. Just blew up. Sorry. Well, Emmy, I'm glad that I'm happy to know that you went on tilt and you blew up with a prop account as opposed to your own funds. Oh, man, it did you dirty. Don't do that to Emmy. Don't take him out and then go in his favor. Oh, man, nothing worse than that. Oh, the market is so cruel at times. Sometimes the market really is. It's so nice and polite. It's like you don't even have to try and you make money and everything works out just fine. But then there's moments like this that'll go up, cause people to blow up, and then they come back down. I've been long on NVIDIA, but I think I have to cut losses. Thank you. I am from Pakistan watching videos. What do you mean you think you need to have cut losses? Malik, did you not have a stop loss in before you put on that NVIDIA trade? Like, where's your stop loss at? Yeah, Emmy, go for a walk. Have a good one. I know the feeling. Nothing worse than getting stopped out or having your account blown to then just have the price go in your favor. I hear you. we'll move this to right there. That still seems to be the top of this pattern here that's forming. So we have that area flat across the top there that's been stubborn towards the bulls. Then we have this area right here that's been stubborn towards the bears. So we have ourselves another one of these wedge formations. I am quite interested. If the price does want to come down here and if it can break, will that break get some more momentum? Like I said, I'm interested. I'm interested seeing how it wants to play out. Oh, I always forget to do that. Got to get the question mark because there's always a stream of new people logging on and logging off. I don't want somebody that just logged on to think that I'm saying that's what's for sure going to happen. That's just what I'm watching. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see what happens though. Definitely getting a little choppy around here, but we'll see if it wants to come back down. Although for longs out there, I'm sure there's longs out there saying, well, Clay, why aren't you talking about the ascending triangle that it's forming? That's a fair point. So yeah, you know that there's longs out there that are just waiting to see if it can get a break and push to the upside. I'm not as comfortable with that, but I would not call those people crazy. I see what they're seeing, and I'm just glad that they're using logic behind their thought process. But yeah, maybe. Oh, let me get the question mark up there too. But yeah, is this an ascending triangle breakout that's about to play out? Perhaps, but like I said, I'm still leaning a little bit more bearish biased right now. But we'll see if this thing wants to break to the downside here. But as of right now, just a waiting game. I'll go ahead and get rid of those because that's what we're watching. Just a waiting game. Sometimes patience is required. Now, I am not, if this thing drops all the way down here in the same candle and breaks it, I don't like that. That seems a little bit too much like chasing, and my stop is up there. That's a pretty big risk profile. But if it chops around here, what's wrong with crayons? Why are you making fun of my crayons? Come on, man. I've been long from yesterday. Unfortunately, did not put stop loss. Sometime you have to risk. No. No, that's not how it works. I mean, you can do that, but there's no, sometimes you have to, no. Always put a stop loss in. There is never a moment where, well, I have to not put in a stop loss. Oh, you eat crayons too? Good. What color is your favorite? I like green. All right. Ascending triangle, people. They're feeling pretty good. Well, at least I'm sure some of them are in now. They got the break to the upside. Hindsight is going to make one of us look really smart or really stupid. It's good to risk, but yeah, exactly. I mean, risk come with every trade. But it needs to be a controlled risk. Hence the stop loss. I could do this, actually. What is that? 07. Yeah, I'll do that for a tight little 1. So I'm going to get short there. Stop right there. We'll see if this wants to roll back down. Okay, I'm in. So let's see if it wants to come back down now. Very, very minimal stop. Yeah, if this thing does want to come back down here, that should give me plenty of wiggle room. Need to see it come down some more before I even think about moving. There we go. Let's make this a winning trade for sure. So this will be a winning trade for sure. And now I'm just going to bring down my stop as it goes. So let's see if we can find some momentum to the downside here. Push down some more, and I'll move down my stop loss some more. But this will be a winning trade no matter what. All right. Well, still a winning trade. I'll take it. I don't know how much I made on it, but again, just doing the bare minimum right here. Bare minimum meaning just one contract because at this point, I'm just protecting my gains on the day. Thank you, Frank. All right, well, I'm glad I dragged the stop loss down because this thing did not want to come back down right away. I mean, it still may want to, but And I would have been totally fine to just keep my stop up there. But like I said, I was looking for more of a breakdown and get moving. But overall, yeah, nice little winning trade there. Little scalp. So right now, the people that are trying to play this ascending triangle, they're not feeling terrible, but they're not feeling great either, because it is definitely putzing around this area. The area here right at 18,600. Certainly right now just being very stubborn, as I mapped out already. But there is still plenty of opportunity. There's still plenty of hope for them to potentially get this breakout. Now, if the price drops all the way down here, at some point you got to think they're probably stopping out. But as of right now, they're hanging in there. And they're feeling pretty good right now. Something to keep in mind on the 5-minute, if you are playing that breakout, you do have the 50-period moving average right there. You also have that previous high from right there. Does not mean the price can't push through that area, but I don't know. You do consider pulling some profits off the table? Just thinking out loud. Obviously, it's your trade plan. Do whatever you want, but just something to keep in mind there. You do have that area that it's currently knocking on the door of right now. So we'll see if the price can push up through there. But I don't know. Maybe we have some shorts right now that are getting short right here with the stop up above there. Very, very tight risk with a potential big payday if it rolls back down. In fact, maybe I should be doing that right now. How's the 2-minute looking like? Oh, yeah, that's actually not too late now, though. That wasn't bad at all. That again, right now, on the 5-minute question, as of, look at that, boom. Right off of that 50-period moving average. So for those of you that did play the breakout, like I said, ideally you'd at least lock some gains in off the table. I mean, it hit that price target area, that resistance, and yeah, nobody should be saying, whoa, where did that rejection come from? No, you had it right there. And again, none of this is hindsight analysis. Assuming you've been here for more than 2 minutes, you just heard me talking about that being a potential area of resistance, and but boom. Now, did I know that it was going to get rejected that hard off it? No, I'd be lying if I said I knew it would get that hard. But now we have this area right here. Is this a short to the downside? That's a lot of downside pressure. That just broke the spirits of a whole lot of longs right there. Because think about it, if you're long and you're in there and you're like, here we go, big breakout, and then that same candle all the way back down, you got to think that there are some discouraged longs out there right now, probably getting ready to wave the white flag, upset, frustrated, depressed. Think of any negative emotion. That's what the longs got to be thinking. And it's easy to figure that out, right? Because all you got to do is ask yourself the question, let's pretend that I were a long and I bought for the breakout and then the price went up there. How would I be feeling as a long? Well, you'd be feeling like $1 million. You'd be saying, nice, got the breakout, look at we go. Go, baby, go. And then, well, boom. How would that have you feeling? Probably a negative feeling. So as shorts, that's what we're after. Where are those moments in the market where the other side, the other team is feeling negative? And that's where you got to think the longs are feeling very negative, and that's where the shorts are probably circling. Bro, you're streaming with 1 MNQ. Even if you lose, you're making more on the adverts and super chats. No skin. Yeah, you're right. I'm managing risk. Am I supposed to be risking my account every time? DSWRCR? Dude's giving me a hard time for managing my risk. Man. Hey, dude, you're managing your risk. If you're going to live stream, you should be a degenerate. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. Bro. This guy's probably and look, I work out. This guy's probably in the gym right now eating broccoli and a chicken breast. Hey, bro. Why aren't you acting like a degen, bro? Just a minute. Let me get some more reps in. Hey, Ma, where's my protein shake? Ma, we having broccoli again tonight? I'm bulking right now. I'm cutting. The degenerates of the world. Dude's literally giving me a hard time because I'm managing risk. And he's offended that I'm making money. So apparently the only way that this works is if I'm risking my entire account. As I've said many times, I'm good on the day. I'm not looking to blow anything up. No, I'm not. Yeah, that is what you're saying. Just at least an NQ. Why? I don't want to risk anymore. See, I'm doing something called risk management, meaning I have met some parameters of my day. Therefore, I'm not willing to risk a certain amount. And by even doing an NQ, that would be putting that at risk. I'm sorry that you have a problem with me managing my risk and behaving responsibly. I'm sorry that it bothers you that I'm making money from this live stream. Again, I'm sorry that offends you. That's a sad way to get, those are sad things to get offended about in life. This guy is not risking as much as I think he should. I think he should manage his risk differently to appease me. And by the way, the fact that he's making money. Come on, man. Bro. You doing squats right now? You doing some deadlifts? Is that why you're so cranky? I get it. I do squats and deadlifts. I understand. Those compound movements, they'll put you in a cranky mood. I get it. I get it. Somebody get this guy some more chicken breast and broccoli and Greek yogurt, non-fat. Dude's yelling at me at the gym right now. And that is why so many people fail. Right there. People constantly think you got to be putting on all sorts of risk. People don't even realize that there's ways to manage risk throughout your day. Question on the 50K Pro account. When I break the 52K, the max drawdown stays at 50. Yes, Zane. Account up to, I've got a 25. So if I take the account up to 75K, correct. Yes, Zane. Yes. But I would say to pay yourself. I mean, I have nothing against building up a buffer, but you probably want to take some profits along the way. Ben, that is when it becomes gambling. No, exactly. I understand. Like, I have the live stream YouTube voice in my mind that I know there's a certain group of people out there, such as DSWCR, that are degenerates, and they just want to see risk. They want to see risk. They want to see high risk. And if in any way, shape, or form you're managing risk, they're like, bro, what's up with this? Like, I get it. Hey, mate, what do you think about SRCE for swing trading opportunity? I don't know. I can't look at that right now. We're watching this. Tomorrow will be a week since I passed my TPT value. Not a peep. Emailed, online chat, no response. They sure seem to run. Well, Ken, yeah, I've sent a couple emails in for people in my room, and they've replied back very quickly. But like I said, that's I carry a little bit of leverage. So yeah, we've had they're understaffed right now. I shared an email that they sent me yesterday, apologizing, saying they're trying their best, and they are. But yeah, they'll get you figured out. But yeah, down 350 for the day, done for the day. See you tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. Could be a long down here. In fact, I think I will do it. Yeah. There you go. We'll look to buy at that green line. I passed my account and got an email following morning. Yeah, I don't know how some of these... Ken, I don't know, Ken. If you're a member of the community, I can't remember if you are. Drop a message in the lounge, Ken, and I'll email them. I'll email them, let you kind of reach out and be like, hey, what's going on? But yeah, I'll need your email. So yeah, because I think that you're a member of my private community. So if I'm mixing you up, I apologize. But assuming my assumption is correct that you are a member, shoot me a message in the chat room. Oh, not a member. All right, sorry. Never mind then. Sorry, I have you confused with another Ken, I guess. I am agree with you. I risk 2 to 3% my total account. I am long-term trader. I have a huge... Oh, that's fine. Like, it seemed like you were coming across as like not wanting to use a stop loss, which I would argue is a risky proposition. All right. Well, I was wanting to go long, but it did not come down and fill me, and now it's heading back up, so I'll cancel that order out. We'll see if we can go back to the drawing board a little bit. Do you ever break your rules, Clay? No, I'm a flawless individual. In fact, please don't call me Clay. Call me Mr. Perfect. Mustafa, that's very disrespectful to me. Don't call me by my name. Call me Mr. Perfect. The strain, I had an issue where my account was logging into my how am I doing section. I don't know what that means. I'm not quite sure what that issue would be referring to. New account, fix it though. Hey, JMO, where you been? Finally passed the test. Any advice on words of wisdom for going from test to pro? Just keep on grinding. Just don't even think about it. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't need a note. Yeah, I don't know, Ken. The vast majority of people, they're not having the issue that you are. So I'm not sure. Without knowing the details of your situation, I really don't know. I made a pretty good point though. I like your videos on futures for beginners. I wish I had seen them when I first started. Good luck, bro. Dude, I don't know. What do you guys call each other? No, you don't make a good point. You make a terrible point. Well, you make a good point in the sense of your terrible point makes a good point when it comes to the general attitude of the younger male crowd out there. So yes, you do make a good point by making an original terrible point. You complaining about me managing risk is a terrible point, but it does make a good point in the sense of that's why a lot of people fail, because like risk management, that's boring. Let's go. Let's put on some risk. But I am glad that you found my my futures videos helpful. Wasn't logging. Basically, Trade08 said I was at one, but TB. Oh, I see. They weren't connecting. Well, there is a little bit for the dashboard. You got to wait a little bit for the dashboard to update itself. Again, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button if you are having a good time, entertained, learning something. I will be interested again to take this long. I didn't think it would come back down, so let me get that order out there. So low probability trade, but if I'm right, and yes, for the millionth time, I am doing very minimal risk because I'm good on the day, but some people here have never seen futures trade, so I just want to show them how futures trade. So for those of you that have never seen futures trade, if I do get filled, watch that number and just ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number's moving around? And if you think that it's way too slow, that is okay. That is okay. I'll offer you a solution that illustrates just how great futures are. Okay, approaching. Again, watch down here if I get filled. And just ask yourself, how do you think about how that number moves? But yes, if you are like that other person, our broccoli eating bro friend that's in the middle of deadlifts, and you want to see degenerate risk, this will not be the live stream for you. This is not a protein shake. This is just some coffee. QQQ intraday head and shoulders forming. I have no idea. I don't know how you're defining intraday. Are you defining intraday as a minute, 5 minute, 15 minute? Maybe. I'll just say that, maybe. Well, it's kind of just putzing around here. Let me move it down a little bit more. I'm here just trading from work. Still can't stop working yet. Hopefully one day. Just keep on grinding, JMO. Keep on grinding. You'll get there. You'll get there. Well, in hindsight, maybe I'm being a little bit too picky. Jahar Victor. I'm looking to get into day trading. Is this a good page to learn on? I mean, I don't know. Have you seen any of my YouTube videos from my channel? Jabari? If you've seen some of my videos, you're like, oh yeah, I like them. Well, yeah, I'd say that this is a good place to learn. If you've seen videos on my YouTube channel, you're like, this guy's a terrible teacher, then this is probably not going to be a good place for you to learn. But I do have a lot of free stuff on the channel, on my website, that you can check out if you want. But yes, I do not know if this will be a good page for you to learn at, because I don't know what you think about my teaching style. Some people enjoy my personality. Some people think I'm a jerk. Some people think I'm crazy. Some people think I'm too soft. Some people think I'm a Republican. Some people think I'm a Democrat. Some people think I have no spine because I won't pick a side. I don't know who said the quote, but it's a great quote. The best way to please nobody is to try to please everybody. So I figure I'm just going to kind of do my thing, and if people like it, great. If not, so be it. Whoops. Right here. If you're new, I'd sign up for this webinar tomorrow. I'm having free. Given that you're new, I think this would be something that maybe you would find beneficial. Still just putzing around down around this area, seeing if I can get filled at that green line. Again, tight stop. What was your highest profit in a day from day trading? Oh, I don't know. I do know that my best trade was on the same day as my worst trade. It was on LinkedIn, which no longer is even publicly traded because Microsoft bought them. But when LinkedIn went public, and I don't even remember these numbers, I think I made like 20,000. It was a good amount, but then I gave back most of it too on that same day. Because I mean, if you were to go back and look at I don't even know if you can. I think the ticker was LNKD, but if you look at their IPO day, the day when they first started trading, man, it was everywhere. Just sitting around, and we're seeing if we can get, what's the ES up to? Same thing. No, I was going to watch them and seeing you on the live. I'll check them out afterwards. Saying, sounds good, Jabari. Right now, there's a very real threat. I'm buying like the beginning of a flush of this breakdown. But again, my risk is so minimal that we'll see what happens. I'd love to get this up to at least 100 likes. We're only 14 away, so if you are enjoying and you have not hit that like button, that really helps out. So please hit that like button if you have not yet. Would like to see a surge here. Let's get some momentum in the likes up to, see if we can get this to 100. Today was a bit of a goofy stream. Started off super slow, and then we were building some momentum, and then my brand new fiber internet went out, came back, was filled on a trade, was down on it, went on tilt, was willing to blow my account. It did ultimately work out, and it would have blown my account, but to pat myself a little on the back, I realized I was on tilt, so I just took a quick little gain. And then from there, yeah, we've regained momentum, and we got, we have some good, up over 100 right now, so that's always encouraging. But that was just my long way of saying it's been a wild ride. So usually I'm aiming for over 100 within the first 2 hours, but like I said, today was such a goofy day that, yeah. But the goal is still 125. So if we could get up to 125, that'd be amazing to still be able to hit that goal after such a goofy day. All right, coming back down again. If you're new to futures, watch this. Ask yourself, what do you think about that number and how it moves? Because it'll be minimal, but the nice thing about futures and with the prop firm is you can manipulate that very, very nicely. Yeah, I think at this point, I need to just cancel it out because it seems as though the buy this entire time has been up around here. So now if I get filled where I was at, is that like where the flush is beginning? So, and because you day trade, I don't know, maybe 4 days a week, a good day. It doesn't matter. Why I'm not going to answer that, Curl, is just build good habits. Just build good habits. I assure you, the amount of money you can make trading will blow your mind. But you're focused on things that don't matter right now. Learn how to trade. Learn how to manage risk. Learn how to find edges in the market. That's what you should be focused on. I promise you, day trading is worth your time. You don't need to crunch a number like, well, what? No, you can make plenty of money. I promise you that. If you figure it out, you can make money and make it worth your time. So if your worry right now is, I don't know if, do I really want to try this? Is it really going to be worth my time? It'll be worth your time. It's not, I'm not saying it's easy, but it'll be worth your time. And if anybody wants to pipe up and be like, oh no, yeah, you can make good money in the markets. You can let curls know. Again, that doesn't mean that it's easy, but if your worry is, I don't want to put a whole bunch of time into learning the skill and then have it not be worth my time, don't worry about that. We are just wait. Should we check the news headlines? That's popular once. Yeah, that's popular. What are the headlines at right now? Where's the bonds? As you long time, we got to check on the bonds. That's the most important thing. All right, they're staying down a little bit. At least they're not rising. That's good. Wall Street trading desks are feasting. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure those trading commissions are going up across the board with all the CBS latest tariffs have generated $500 million, well below Trump's estimate. Oh, well, that's not good. Who is the CBP? U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I think that's okay. So I don't think that's a bias in either direction. I think that's just the government agency. Trump has repeatedly said $2 billion per day. Okay, so the claim is $2 billion per day. What has it actually been? Even during the brief glitch, CP's average of $250 million per day. All tariffs were collected by U.S. Customs in early April. Then hours later, it temporarily lowered. Yeah, we're all, as traders, we're all aware of that drama. So I guess. So it's supposed to be $2 billion per day. It seems like is the claim. Yet as right now, CBP says the average is 250. So just a little bit below. Short the ES at 553.61 for a scalp. All right, that's what you're doing, or is that what you're telling me to do? I don't trade the ES, but what's he saying at 553.61? Yeah, where's this? And where am I putting my stop loss? DS. You gave me the entry point, but where's this? Well, I shouldn't. Where's my stop at though? 20-year bonds at 1 Eastern. Oh, okay, yeah. So at 1 p.m. Eastern, probably should get some sort of spike. I've been feeling trigger shy since the volatility dried up. I mean, this is normal action. The past couple of weeks have really kind of corrupted a lot of people, myself included. We all need to kind of go through now a detox now, because we're all kind of grown used to how it's been. But right now, I get it. It feels super slow, but it's actually not. This is just normal action, which is still really good action, all things considered. But yeah, there is the bonds at 1 p.m. Thanks again, Mark. So the bond auction could very well give us a spike here. So I'm gonna sit this out and see what actually happens and transpires from it. And where was my buy? I think my buy was right. Yeah, so my buy order still would not have been filled because that's where I was looking to buy, down around that area right there. So yeah, at this point, is that the key level to keep a close eye on? Maybe. So it would make me nervous to want to be buying down around here, because that's basically the beginning of a potential breakdown and flush through that level. But again, we have news in 3 minutes, so I'm not going to touch anything. The past couple of days that they've had bond auctions, there's been some initial spikes. Was it Monday? I got caught in a bizarre spike. Like the platform glitched out and it was like a $300, or no, it was a good sized loss that I was not planning on taking. So DS is not going to give a stop loss. I mean, I'm all for people telling me entry points. That's great. I like people telling me entry points on things before they happen, but I'd also like to know where a stop is at. That's always helpful too. Less than 2 minutes before the news comes out. Again, the bond news, the bond auction, which usually people don't care about, like it just comes and goes. But recently, because of the drama with the bonds in the news, people have been starting to care about them. So I am expecting some sort of spike in less than 1 minute. Some kind of spike in less than, let me put it this way, I think we're going to be able to tell when it's 1 o'clock Eastern. I think we're going to be able to tell. Maybe not, but given the track record of the recent history and the bond auction stuff, I think we're going to know. So let's just watch. I'm not even going to look at the clock. I'm going to see if we can, well, I can know when it'll be 1 o'clock just based on the formation of the candles. But let's see. Are we going to get a spike? Where do you find this upcoming events? Just an economic calendar. Economic calendar. If you run a Google search for that, it'll bring up the calendar, and that'll tell you when announcements are and everything like that. All right. I think I can tell. Did it just turn 1 o'clock? That was, I mean, not like a massive spike, but that was a spike. So there we go. There's the news that just came out. So that was not a whoa, where did that come from? It's 1 o'clock Eastern. We were told that something was occurring, so that should not be, none of this action should be a shock to anybody in the sense of, whoa, it got volatile all of a sudden. No, you should have known that. Again, economic calendar. That's something that you should learn to check every morning. It'll tell you what's going on, what reports are being released, when there's speeches, stuff like that, so that you don't get caught in one of these movements. But we've all been there. We've all been like, we've forgotten about an event or we've forgotten to check it. And then you're in a trade and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? And it's like, the economic calendar. So right now, the fake break, nasty move down through that trend line, now heading up. Uh-oh. So like I said, we don't even know DSW. Like he didn't give us our stop. So his entry was 361.25, which was like right around here. So I don't know. Did that move right there take him out? Did he already? We don't know. That's a problem. That's why just simply giving an entry point is a little sketchy. Well, the Strand, I can't say that I feel too bad for you. I mean, we were warning you. Hey, there's an event coming. It's going to get spiky. You chose to remain in during the spike. So that's what you chose to put yourself at risk of. So I mean, sorry, that's a bummer when it happens, but like deep down, do I feel too bad for you? I don't, just because I'm offering the warning. Mark gave me the warning. Hey, 20-year bonds, 1 p.m. Eastern. So one of those, if you make your bed, gotta lie in it. I think that's how the saying goes. Something like that. But yeah, never fun when that does actually happen. Yeah, I stopped entering the market during huge fluctuations. Yeah. But it's also one of those things where if you know if you know fluctuations are coming, probably should just avoid it. Betting the house on an already crap day. Gotcha. So you're kind of in tilt mode then? Sounds like you're on tilt. Sounds like you're in one of those, screw it, go big or go home. I believe you're in a prop firm Strand, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But if you are somehow using your own funds, please reconsider your decisions. You don't want to do that with your own funds. How do I know? I may or may not have done that on a few occasions over the trading journey. That's why, at least with a prop firm, your risk is insulated. What's interesting though here is an upside. Could that get a spike? I'm going to try a little scalp here. There we go. Buy there, sell at the red line. It's not going to be anything big. It's still just 3 micros, but I kind of like that for a potential quick breakout scalp. I don't know if I trust the breakout per se, but I do like it enough that it could gain some momentum, although now it's dropping right back down. Man, we are on the struggle bus today to even get to 100 likes. But we've had good concurrent viewers, so I mean I don't want to complain too much. But yeah, it's weird. Still trying to learn the live stream. Why are some days just absolutely beautiful for the like button? Why are other days not so good? I don't know. I've been doing it for 2 months now, but still feels like I'm a total rookie at this live streaming thing, trying to figure out. So if we have any live streaming experts here, would love to hear from you. Would love to hear from you. I don't know what I'm doing. Still trying to figure it out. Map your likes into a daily candlestick. Oh yeah, I should. I'm saving my like for a 4NQ trade. You belong with that DS guy. I was 1,134 red today. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. We're down at these lows. And yeah, even that. I mean, it's such a, yeah, even that big, like last week, this distance here would have been like 75 points. Right now, it's 10 points. Anyone you want, Ronnie. Anyone you want. I just read a message on Discord that baffles me. Good traders don't use stop losses because they were never wrong. I'm going to give that person the benefit of the doubt that they were just joking around. Because I've said that before in jest. Like, only morons use stop losses. Stop losses are only for those people that are wrong. I'm never wrong. So I'm assuming they were just saying that joking. Now, if they were serious, then they're clearly just a newbie. But I'm like at 95% sure that they were probably just joking around. Gave 2 days of profits back today. Break even on the week could be way worse. I can't remember, Matt. Are you... Oh, you said... Wait, are you doing futures with your own money or are you doing futures with a prop firm? With your own money? You are a crazy person. Oh, man, you are a crazy person. Yeah, do you even know about prop firms? Like, what are you doing? Like, you lost $2,400 today? Like, that's wild. Let's bounce him back up. Okay, 200 total, 2,400 account. So you're new then to the market. If you started with $2,000, you're probably pretty new to the market. Like, do you even know what a prop firm is? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You must not know what a prop firm is. Why are you risking all $2,000 at once? Oh my goodness. Why do you hate prop firms? You hate that? What do you hate about? Oh, I'm not going to say, but I'll be honest. I'll let you know if this is what I'm thinking. Why do you hate prop firms? Keep in mind, listeners, because I'm about to prove Pam's plant, the context is he's very new. Why make fake money when I can make my own profit without having to play their game? Yeah, what's their game? Are you talking about the rules they impose on you, Matt? Is that what you're defining as the game? I don't like the rules that they set up. And it's not fake money as an FYI. Says he knows about prop firms, but then calls it fake money. Thresholds, having to hit certain dollar amounts. Okay, so you don't like the rules. Fine. Okay. So you are proving Pam's plan. Specifically right here. In other words, Matt just wants to go out there and behave however he wants. And I do concede that it is easier to trade if you can do whatever you want. It is easier to trade if you have nobody imposing rules upon you. I totally concede that. But anybody that's ever operated under that is not going to have their money for very long. I don't want any rules. I'm just going to do my own thing. Whereas with a prop firm, the added risk control comes in the form of the rules, because these rules are going to force you to focus on risk management, on risk control. He complains about, I don't like thresholds. Yeah, you don't like having maximum, you don't like having drawdowns. You don't like being forced to focus on risk management, risk control. You would rather to be able to do whatever you want. If you want to go on full-blown tilt, you want to be allowed to go on full-blown tilt. Okay, that's fine. But all it takes is one of those days for you to go on full-blown tilt. And with your current setup, your money is all gone. Poof, just like that. This is where the other risk control comes into. You could protect your own money. So, in other words, when Matt goes on tilt, and he will go on tilt, we've all been on tilt. We've all had bad days. We've all lost our mind. It doesn't make you a bad trader. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a human being. But when he goes on tilt, and he has a terrible day, loses his mind, what is it going to cost him? Well, am I blind? Oh, that's why. With a prop firm, so let's just say he's got $2,000. So he could take $2,000 of that. Let's do this. So he's got $2,000 that he has right now. He's like, I'm going to use that all on my own because I don't like prop firms because they're rules and all this sort of stuff. It's fake money when it's not fake money. As I was like, tell that to the member of my community that went on a European vacation with prop firm fake money. Okay. So he's got $2,000. He could go the prop firm route and he could just go and get, let's just say he could get 100,000 purchasing power, which would cost him 231. So let's do that. Or no. Let's do this because this will actually match up perfectly. Where's the 2,000? Okay, right here. So he could go get 50,000 of purchasing power for 119. Okay, and he's got the 2,000. So 2,000 minus that 119, the 19. So of his own money, he still has $1,881 of his own money left. But now we're going to look at a same situation, but one minor difference. The situation is this, and let's even do this. Let's just assume that Matt behaves well. He's not doing anything wrong. He's not on tilt. He's not revenge trading. He's doing nothing wrong. But let's just say, poof, a spike. Crazy move happens. We've all been there. We're like, whoa, where did that was terrible. That was nasty. So that's the situation. Now, in the prop firm world, let's say that situation costs $2,000, which it very well could. It's futures. Well, what does that mean for Matt in the prop firm world? Well, it means if he lost $2,000, he has failed the test and he's going to get his account taken away. But does that actually mean he lost $2,000? No, he only lost the cost of the account. How much money does he still have? Well, he still has $1,881 because he only used $119 to buy the account. But what about the situation he's currently in? Again, same exact circumstances. He's behaving properly, all that, but then poof, spike, something crazy happens, and he loses $2,000. Now how much money does Matt have? Well, he had $2,000, and he just took a $2,000 loss because it's his own money. Okay, account gone. Just like that, account gone. Whereas again, the other situation, yeah, big spike, boom, boom, boom. But because it only cost him $119 to get the account, minus $119, spike, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he still got $1,881 left. So, I mean, it mathematically especially again, he in his own words is very new. So a very new person taking on that amount of risk literally makes no sense. Because keep in mind, in my example, I just conceded. I'm like, all right, we won't even pretend like he does something dumb. We all know as very new people, we're going to do dumb things. We're going to do a lot of dumb things. But like I said, I didn't even use that as a reason. I just said, let's say he's being smart, yet a huge spike or something happens. Just like that, one trade, his entire account is gone. In the prop firm world, yeah, that specific account is gone, but he can always go and get the account again for $100. So if he gets the account again for $100, minus 100, he's still got 1781. And you know what? Let's say again, boom, spike, crazy, something happens, bam, $2,000. Okay, the account's gone. Okay, well, whoops. Account is gone. Well, then he can get another one for $100. And he's still got that much left. But then, all it takes is one. Let's say he goes through another 5 accounts. So each one at 100, so that's minus 500, 1180. Okay, so now he's spent, basically $800. So he's $800. But let's say finally he gets a situation where he goes, he passed the test, he gets into the pro account. So he failed 8 tests, $800, whatever it is, a little bit more. He gets in the pro account. Now he gets to keep 80% of his gains. But let's say that he goes on a run. Like he finds himself a hot streak. He's booming, he's banging, he's on a hot streak. And let's say he makes $3,000. Now he only gets to keep 80% of it. So 3,000 times 0.8, he's got $2,400. What did we say his all-in investment was? Well, he failed 8 times, so to keep the math easy, $800. So his entire investment was $800. So 2,400 divided by 800 as an investment, minus 1 times 100, there's a 200% return on his investment. Was any of this even possible had he used his own money? No, because remember that one trade for $2,000 wiped out his entire account? So do you see how when I say it literally makes no sense to do futures trading with your own money? Like sense in the form of logic in the form of the math that you just saw here. All in the name of, I don't like the rules. I don't like to be forced to focus on risk management, risk control. No, that's what you need to be forced to focus on. So right there, if that doesn't explain Pam's plan, I don't know what does, but let the numbers speak for themselves. Either one trade and you're all toast, or you give yourself a bunch of tries, and still if you fail a bunch of times, all it takes is that one time to go on a hot streak, to get to the pro account, to make some money, to keep 80% of it. And then when you look back at all the money you've spent, invested, you could be looking at yourself a great return on investment. So there it is. Now, I will say there's an exception to the rule. If you are a battle-hardened veteran, you have your system, you have your strategy figured out. Austin, who I don't know if he's still here, he's in that category. Now, he's still trying the prop stuff because, again, he likes a challenge. But, he has plenty of money. He already has a strategy. So there is the rule where it's like, for some people, if you are a battle-hardened veteran, that's a different category. But the category here, as Matt told us, he's very new. And Matt will, that's the best he'll be able to do is just laugh about it, which he did. I love being the guinea pig. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? So there we go. If you learned something there, make sure you hit that like button. Because you have to spend that $2K on an eval. I don't know what DSWR is saying. I think he agrees, but then he tells Matt, you're doing it right. Which, yeah, I just proved mathematically, no. All it takes is one and poof, his entire account's gone. Clay, some people simply enjoy the risk. And that's fine. My point is, if you want to be a degenerate gambler, a prop firm is going to allow you to be a degenerate gambler for longer. Because when your degenerate gambles don't work out, It's only costing you $100. But if you can go on a streak of degenerate gambles that work out, you could still be looking at a good payment. Now, eventually you're going to just blow up everything, but that doesn't matter. Like, enjoy the risk. Well, then get yourself, quote unquote, more risk. Give yourself more entertainment by you going through a prop firm. It looks like I'll be able to reset account either tomorrow and join. By the way, Andrew, in the email, you're like, you're supposed to get an amount, but like now you think you're getting scammed. Well, yeah, where's this deposit supposedly coming from? Please don't tell me you've been talking with somebody on social media that's telling you they're going to give you like 400% every week. How much profits do you get to keep with the prop firm? On the Pro account, you keep 80. Pro Plus, you keep 90. He gets in the Pro account 2 weeks later. I'm not sure I know what that's in reference to. I'm catching up on messages, so I'm sorry if I don't understand what some of these are in context to. Matt will start trading with the prop account after he blows his 2,000. Yeah, probably Zane. Hopefully he remembers who tried to warn him, who showed him the math. Oh, Austin's still here. What does it take to unlock Pro Plus? You got to make 10,000 in your Pro. Oh, thank you, Drew, for helping out. I guess I'm answering questions that have already been answered. I appreciate that. Clay, it was your training video futures. Okay, thank you. I'm glad those helped you, but that's irrelevant to my point. That has nothing to do with the fact that you're being completely silly. Now, if you're here to be a degenerate gambler, that's fine. But even that's not fine, because like I already explained, go with a prop firm. It'll allow you to be a degenerate gambler for longer. But as a new person, you're just taking on unnecessary risk, as I proved. I understand my only regret is not starting up a funded in the last year, work complications, but I do believe it's the best. Well, I mean, it is the best. It's mathematically the best, as I just proved. Like, that's why I love Pam's plan. It's not like my opinion. I can prove it through logic, through math. Again, if we assume certain things, which are true, the assumption being, especially as a new person, you're going to do really dumb things. You're going to lose your mind. You're going to go on tilt. So when all those really bad things that are going to happen, I would rather have that happen in an environment where it's just losing you, $100 or so compared to potentially your entire account. Yeah, exactly. That's why I liked using that one, Nathan. His drawdown made it perfectly. His size account is just like, okay, well, on the 50K, 1-1 could be poof. No, I didn't call DSWC. I don't know what he's replying to. Up over it. Let's see. Now, with prop firm, you can be not profitable overall with all the blown accounts, but actually be profitable in your bank account with a couple of payouts. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. That's the bizarre thing about the prop firms. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I'll use it, but if you want to design it, go ahead. If you want to make a new Pam's plant explanation, it's got to fit on this screen though, so it can't be something crazy. But yeah. And remember, I got this thing down here, so it can't block out the bottom part where it's, this is not entertaining. It's got to be able to show everything. But yeah, if you want to do it, again, I'm not promising that I'm going to use it, but if you want to make one, that's fine. All right, let's get back to trading. Exactly, Nathan. And only people that are in prop firms will understand that comment of how you've lost hundreds of thousands on prop, but you're still up in real money over $25,000. Exactly. Let's go. Let's get 2 more likes. Can we at least bring this up to 100? Anyone with any kind of insurance. Well, at the core, Matt, he wants to behave however he sees fit. And I remember when he was like, oh, I don't like prop firms. In my mind, I was like, he's gonna complain about the rules. And sure enough, I don't like the thresholds. I don't like profit. He's like, yeah, you're complaining about the rules. Like that's why people don't like him. They want to go out there and behave however they want. And I admit, behaving however you want does make trading easier because by definition, you can do whatever you want. There are no rules. But the problem is, ask any veteran trader. Ask them, how does it go when there's no rules? They're going to say, yeah, you're not going to be around very long. DSWR, dude, I 100% agree with you what you just said. But you are taking that statement is built on so many premises that are just do not correlate to reality. If you are able to be very conservative, have we all had days where I'm going to be conservative. Have we ever had days where that seems to just go right out the window? I'm raising my hand. I've shown up. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to be good today. So you got to be very conservative and cut yourself off. Dude, I show up every day. I'm going to cut myself off. If I reach this max threshold, I'm done. If it hits my stop, I'm done. I'm going to cut myself off. Okay, has anybody ever had a day where you did the exact opposite of that? Again, I'm raising my hand. What else did you say? Yeah, okay, so you made two things. If you were able to be very conservative and cut yourself off, 100% agree. But can we agree, whatever your name is, DSWR, is that a pretty big if? Is that, in fact, let me say, is that a massive if? I am able to do that. So you've never ever had a day where you've gone on tilt, DSWCR. Never had a day where you did anything dumb, where you just revenge traded, you forced trades. You've never ever done that. Is that what your claim is? The claim being that your goal is to be very conservative, and you actually are very conservative every single day, every single trade. And your other claim of, and cut yourself off. Is it your claim that you always cut yourself off? You know, you always honor the stop. You always stop at max loss every single day, every single trade. That's what you do? So, no, never. Okay, well, I don't believe you. Then you are the first perfect trader I've ever met. You're the most disciplined trader I've ever met. So with all due respect, I don't believe you. Yeah, no way. No, I never lose my mind. I never am undisciplined. I'm always. I don't believe you, sir. No. 100% false. So how much money are you worth? You got to be like one of the most richest people in the world. Because, I mean, you must always have very tight losses and you're always right. So, I mean, your account must be exploding upwards. Yes, I'm not even close to believing you. Not even close. Give me a break. You know, I've been around since 2006. Channel started in 2013. I don't think I've ever met anybody. I might be lying because maybe I forgot about something. I don't think I've ever met anybody that has made the claim, I'm always perfectly disciplined. I never lose my mind. I never do anything stupid. I always cut myself off. I'm always very conservative. I've never gone on tilt. I've never met anybody that has made that claim. Give me a break. Yeah, most richest. And definitely more gooder. What's your problem with that, Ken? That's perfect English, boy. You better listen up, son. No, you're lying. You're lying. Nobody here believes you that you've never gone on tilt. You've never broken a rule. You've never, you've been perfectly disciplined every single day. Nobody here believes you. That is, in fact, I think that's the craziest claim I've ever heard. Nobody believes you. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like how can you even make that claim? Like I'm insulted because you must think me and all these viewers here or people in the chat box are total morons to think that that's true. I called a good scalp earlier. So a sample, again, like, do you think we're morons? Like, we have some really smart people because I know them. So are you implying that a sample size of 1 is supposed to convince us that you're a perfectly flawless trader that never breaks rules and has never gone on tilt, and because of one trade? Dude, I mean, come on, man. Don't think my viewers are that stupid. Don't think I'm that stupid. A sample. What, didn't you see that one trade? What does that prove? A blind drunk monkey can make a good trade. All right, now he's officially just trolling. Got it. All right. We will move on. He's helping with the algorithm, though, so we'll let him go. But that is funny. Well done on the troll. I should have probably recognized that earlier, that he was trolling. Yeah, exactly. That's my fault for not realizing he's just pressing buttons earlier. So good job to you. Well done on the troll. Good job. I'll give credit where credit's due. Clay's currently tilted. I was definitely tilted earlier. Not tilted now, just... if I'm tilted, it would be at myself now because I was like, why didn't I not recognize the trolling sooner? Shame on me. What's the play for the news? Just wait? Well, I don't know. What's your strategy, Mustafa? I don't know what your strategy is. Do you like to do you think the news is going to go one way or the other? There it is. Whoa! There's Jerome. I'll answer. Mustafa, the play was to get short. All in short right here. That was the play, Mustafa. That was the play. That was the play. Again, this is not a shock. This is why the economic calendar, again, economic calendar is key. Because you would have known that Powell was speaking at this exact time. So you would have, now you don't know which direction the move's going to move, the direction. You don't know which direction the move is going to move, but you do know there will be a move. No, I got to, okay, all right. All right, well, okay, good, Andrew, good. I'm glad it wasn't something from DS. Like I said, well done. You got me. You got me as a troll. You trolled me good. But you don't believe you're just trolling. And here's the proof. We have one of two scenarios. You're either trolling or you're a total moron. Because only a total moron would be like, I think me showing one trade that works out will cause everybody and will provide enough evidence to make people think that my claim of I'm the perfect trader, never break rules, that'll convince everybody. Nobody would believe that. Like, nobody's that dumb. Like, one trade is going to convince everybody of this massively bold claim that I made. Nobody's that dumb, which leaves us with you're just trolling. So again, well done. You got me. You got me for longer than you should have. So I got to give credit where credit's due. You trolled me. You got me. Well done, sir. Well done. But we all now know you are trolling. Yo, I was 1 point away from getting stopped out and it spiked. Down. Yeah, I'm done for the day. That put me up. Good job, Evil Shaddix. You survived the storm. And Julie got you very good. Yeah, exactly, Judge. Just got to sit here and watch. I was very specific about price. Okay, yeah. The trolling keeps going on. Because you're definitely not that stupid. There's nobody that stupid. So this is clearly a troll. But this, yeah, I can't ban him because this is like a funny one. And I got to give credit where credit's due. Like, if you get me going that much, like, I can't, like, good for you. Good for you. Paul speaks. No, I don't want to boot him. If you're going to troll me that good, you deserve to stick around. So I'm guessing Paul is saying, I'm not doing anything with interest rates. I hope Paul says to raise interest rates. That's what needs to happen. I'm still wondering about trading fees per trade. Right here. So on the very volatile contracts, it is $5 total. So $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell. And then on the the micros, 50 cents or excuse me, 25 cents to buy, 25 cents to sell. So 50 cents in total for the micros, and then for the minis, $5 per contract. Again, $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell. Assuming that you're doing Pam's plant and using Take Profit Trader. Can you show us how to put stop loss for both long and short? Well, if I want to get long here, so I'm wanting to buy there, I would just put it down here, and then I would put stop, sell, click. So there we go. On the other side of things, if I want to go short, let's just say up here, I would click sell because I want to get short. And then if I want my stop right there, it would be buy stop right there. So there you go. Powell says economy still solid, so I think everyone sees that as a no rate decrease. Yep, I'd agree with that. How long did it take you to originally pass the combine? I think my third try. That I might be lying though. I will say one. No. I think just one. One of them was because I did not. So if you watch a video about I did a video about what I learned about passing. It's somewhere on my YouTube channel. But the very first, so I was like, here's what I learned and here's what I would suggest. In that video, the very first thing I learned and suggested, learn to love that button right there. Because when you press that, it cancels out all orders. Because one of my blown tests was I left an order out there, totally forgot about it. I got filled, and then it was like game over. Game over. So yes, as maybe that seems like the dumbest rule, like, well, no kidding, you moron. But I'm telling you, it's not as straightforward as you think. That right there is something that cost me an account. But I don't know if Austin's still in the room, but Austin passed on his first try. But Austin's a beast. Yeah, but I don't remember now. Two or three. One of them was, I mean, it was still my fault for not clicking the button, but it was also kind of just one of those freak logistical type errors. Some good action here. We'll see if it wants to bounce or not. How many likes are we at? 102. Man, this has been a weird day. A weird day. It seems like it all goes back to me maybe starting too early. Tomorrow maybe I'm not gonna show up until at least 10:45. I'll still say 11, but before today it wasn't like I was showing up super late or super early. Today I showed up a little bit early. But yeah, today's been a weird one. All right. Do we want to try to maybe get short through there? Maybe. Paul just took the stand. He hasn't been speaking this whole time? Or is it just maybe they saw the speech. Paul on stage now. Roger that. Well, right now we have a bit of a bear pennant. If we just use the overnight low as our, across the top, and we use that right there, and then we draw this down here. And then put our golf hole up here, upside down pennant. So bear pennant. But again, Paul is speaking, so we'll have to see what he has to say and if that sends it one way or the other. But I'm assuming, did he send the speech out? Like, is the speech released publicly, like right away, like what he's going to say? Because he's just reading a speech. So is that what sent the algorithms kind of into motion there? Was, the speech is released publicly? I don't know how that actually works now that I think about it. At 1 o'clock, I guess my question is not necessarily when he starts to verbally speak, but when his speech is released. Because, yeah, it makes no sense for all of this to be happening when like he hasn't said a word. But it does make sense if his speech that he will be saying is released. So I don't know though, now that I think about it, how does that actually work? Does the press, do people have access to his speech before he actually gives the speech, if that makes sense? I think people just got out before the speech. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know. I think the drop was people assuming rates were going up. Yeah, but my question is, he hasn't even revealed that yet. Because if he just took the podium after all this has happened, then we don't know what he's going to say about rates. But what we do know about that, though, is if his speech was actually released. Not him giving the speech, because he didn't give the speech until, like, right now he started to give it. But what caused this, then, if nobody knows what's going on? Well, there is the breakdown of the bear pennant. Well, congrats if anybody took that breakdown. Things are looking good for you. Things are looking real good. Okay, that's not right. I'm asking, can read it. What my question is the speech automatically available at 1 o'clock? That's what I'm asking. Does anybody know? Well, I don't trust you, DSW. So you're a troll. I was short, but was scalping. That would have been crazy profit. Yeah, that would have definitely been a good profit. That's for sure. Do you use market order like you would level 2? I don't use this over here. I just have this on the screen because I know some people do enjoy it, watching and using it. So I just have it for those people, but I'm not paying any attention to it. What broker am I using? I am doing Pam's Plant, which is I am day trading futures through a prop firm. So to just answer it fully, what I'm doing is this is Take Profit Trader. This is the prop firm that I'm using. So if you want to go down the same route, then you would choose what purchasing power amount you want. So you would choose that. And then during the checkout phase, you would select what platform you want. The one that you see is Tradeovate. Now, the one key thing here is that, and what's very nice, you do not need to go to Tradeovate and set up a separate account there. They will do all that for you, they being the prop firm, which makes it there's not a lot of hassle at all. So like I said, they'll set up the account for you, and then they'll let you know your username and password, and then you can log in from there. So I'm using a prop firm, that prop firm being Take Profit Trader, which again, if you use the link that's on top of the screen, it'll take you to that. And then I'm using Tradeovate as the platform. I'm not okay, then you're the biggest moron I've ever met then. Because those are the two conclusions. You're either a troll or a moron. Because only a moron would think that you getting one trade right would convince us that you're like some sort of perfect trader that never breaks rules. Can you teach me how to trade? I have thousands of money in my demo account. Yeah, I mean, I can, yeah. If you're interested in learning how to trade, I do offer a program for that. Now, before everybody flips out, he asked, so I'm just answering his question. Because I know people sometimes are oh so offended when people try to... No, okay, never mind. No, no, it's not free. I won't even send it to you. Tradeovate is best platform I've used. Yeah, you know, some people like it, some people hate it. Still curious about a back test of this line right here. Can the price, again, the classic back test and go. Does something like that happen? We'll have to sit back and see. I'm looking and saying, wow, it's 3 hours and 50 minutes. It doesn't feel that way. Well, that's because we had like a 20-minute outage. So that would make sense why I don't feel, because a portion of that was when the internet was out. And again, Emmanuel, I didn't mean to just like ignore you all of a sudden, but as soon as I saw, is it a free class? Well, no, my solution is not free. So if you're looking for free stuff, it ain't going to be here. I want to be teaching serious people. And there's no better way to teach people that are serious, that are willing to put a little skin in the game. So we'll see if it wants to keep on pushing down or not. Question. Okay, questions. That can always get a little sketchy. Thank you, Judd. Now, what is he going to say with these questions? Treasury news is at 2. Man, we got news flying from us all different directions. Yeah, time does fly. It does. But from a live streaming standpoint, I've noticed that 3.5 hours is usually kind of my tap out point where I'm just like mentally done. But right now I'm feeling mentally good. But I'm looking up at the stream and it's 3 hours and 15 minutes. But I have to remember, like, there's 20 minutes of that where, because when my internet dropped out, I obviously was not here doing the live stream. Trump did not say anything. Paul is speaking. I mean, look at this 5 minute. Just straight on down. Blood, blood, bleeding, bleeding. Knife catcher's getting roasted. And even low. Well, looks like the back tests right there are not going to be happening. Does anybody else want to go long now? Does anybody else have the catch the knife voice show up? I'll admit it. Right now, I'm like, just go long. Try to go long here. Anybody else with the catch the falling knife voice show up? Like, surely this thing can't keep going down. Just buy. Anybody else with that voice? Let's partner and make a lot of money. Hi, my name is Andrew Keene, and I have done $50 million on my trading franchise, including 7 years ago. My business partner, Lindsay Sprout, has done $800. I think they meant. I think you have a typo there. Pretty sure that should say 800 million. Or are you bragging about your business partner and doing $800 in revenue? No, you are a moron. Here, again, I'm going to map out one more reason why you're either... Now, I don't think you're a moron, you're a troll. But this is why I don't... this is why I think you're a troll, because I don't think you're a moron. Because only a moron would show up and make the claims that you made, like the craziest claims I've ever heard, and then think that a sample size of 1 would convince anybody of anything. That's what would make you a moron if you actually believe that. But I don't believe you actually believe that. Therefore, that's how I've arrived at you just being a troll. And like, don't even take my word. Go ask any statistician. Go ask any geek that loves probabilities and stats and be like, hey, does the sample size of 1 prove anything? Again, I'm not asking you to take my word. Like, go ask anybody that's into statistics. Does a sample size of 1 prove anything? Hey, Clay, just getting away from meetings to see the flush. Sheesh, I'm both happy and jealous to have missed the move. Well, I mean, this is all Paul, so in theory, maybe you could have traded. Now that was a potentially nice little trade there, but no, the claim's not 100% consistency. His claim is like he's never broken a rule, he's never gone on tilt, he's never revenge traded, never done any of that. Like he's never broken a rule. He's perfectly disciplined every day. So he's not saying he's right all the time. He's just saying he's disciplined 100% of the time and has never broken a rule. Which, like I said, we all know that's a ridiculous claim. But then he was like, well, yeah, but I got that trade right, and I called it out. Like, okay, well, I don't know what that has to do with what your claim is, because your claim is not that you're right all the time. Your claim is just that you're, like, perfectly consistent in your discipline. So that's also why I know he's a troll, because, like, him pointing out a trade that he called out has nothing to do with this claim, because his claim is not I'm right all the time. His claim is just, no, I'm perfectly disciplined. So what he thinks calling out a trade has to do with anything, I don't know. So again, that's why he's not that stupid. He's just trolling around, and I give him credit. Like, he got me for a while. DSW, yeah, that's a problem. When you troll, then you lose credibility. Because I'll concede maybe what you said is true, but you're a troll. So I just don't believe you, and I have to default to that because you are a troll. So that doesn't mean that you're lying. Troll does not equal lying. Troll means, yeah, are you lying? Are you trolling around again? Like, you just killed your credibility. Like, you're a troll. Like, I'm not going to believe what you say. Now, maybe it's true, but I don't know that because you're a troll. That's the problem. Man, just continues to bleed. Whoa, oh, now what did he say? No, you missed it already. I mean, you should have seen it when I was actually taking him serious. He had me good. Like I said, credit where credit's due. He had me good. So, I don't know. Yeah, what reporter asked what question on that one? That must have been a good question. Hey, Jillian. I was long in the giant red candle when Paul was about to speak. Jillian, shame on you. Why were you even long? Economic calendar. Economic calendar. You didn't need to lose that $100. Economic calendar. I think that's the lesson here. Economic calendar for people. I mean, I am glad that you had to stop and it only cost $100. But an economic calendar would have kept that Benjamin Franklin in your pocket. What do you look for when it continues to bleed? Well, that would depend on the strategy that I'm using. The strategy is going to mean I'm looking for different things. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that line. I don't think that's really relevant anymore. All right, I'm not quite sure how to read this situation, so we're going to take a poll real quick. Where are the polls at? Let's see. Engage with your audience. Poll. Ban D. What is it? DSWCR. Should I ban him or not? I'm not sure. Is he being more of a distraction than anything? What are we gonna do here? Wow. Okay, that makes me feel better because I was kind of having a conflicting message in my mind, and we're literally at 50-50 right now. That makes me feel better. No, you definitely did lie. That's why you're a troll. Let me. Okay, I'm gonna ask for because I want to be as fair as possible, and maybe I have misunderstood. Is it your claim that you are perfect in the risks or in the discipline category? Is it your claim that you've never broken any of your trading rules, that you've never not honored a stop loss, that you've always behaved perfectly as a disciplined trader? Is that your claim? That you've never broken a rule ever as a trader? Is that your claim? Because that is how I took everything that you're saying is, hey, I've never broken rules. I don't break rules. I am always, every day, every trade, perfectly disciplined. Is that what you're saying? Now you're saying no. That's definitely what. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. It's. Have you ever reached a payout with a prop firm? Yes, I have. Have you, Ahmed? How much would it cost to get you to come to Seattle for a couple of days on me? You know what, Andrew? Let's get you. Let's see if you follow through and actually join the mentorship. That would be step one. That would be step one. Let's just see how serious you. Now I do believe you. I will say that for that. I do believe you, Andrew. You seem very serious. But before we have those conversations, let's make sure you actually are serious. Uh-oh. DSWC, not looking so good for him right now. But he's claiming that was actually not his claim. Good job, Ahmed. Very good. Just red. I mean, look at this 5 minute. One red after another after another. I mean, buying right now seems like you're just catching a falling knife. Shorting right now seems like you're just FOMO, chasing. Lance, bottom has got to be in soon. Yeah, I don't know, Lance. I can see myself saying, oh, I bet the overnight low right there, that's got to be the bottom. I mean, it was way up here. It's come all the way down here. That's got to be the bottom. Right here. Oh, no, there's no way. Oh, see, it's bouncing up. That was the bottom. Nope. Okay, that's got to be careful with the, and like I said, I'm just as guilty. It's got to be the bottom. Exactly, Red Tiger. Says every blown account. Yeah, exactly. If anybody's watching the press conference, is he still taking questions right now? I can't travel and would like one-on-one time. How much would you? Again, I'm not going. I'm not having those conversations. If you can't even join the mentorship program, then we're definitely not going to talk any numbers about me traveling to you. Like, okay, I'm not a perfect trader. I lose all the. Okay, I'm not. None of that has to do with you being right all the time. I have losing days. Again, that's still not refuting your claim. I'm not equating perfect trader with you always being right. So far, you have not refuted anything. But I don't lose more than my daily limit. That's all. I understand not everyone has the discipline, but I'm blessed. So let me rephrase again. My claim has nothing to do with you being a perfect trader in the sense of perfect trader being defined as I never lose money. That's not my claim. My claim is it seems as though you are proclaiming that you are perfect in the discipline department. You've never broken a rule. You've never gone on tilt. You've always honored every single stop loss. You've always been a perfectly disciplined trader. Is that what you're saying? It seems like that's what you're saying. Is that your claim? Again, I understand your claim is not I'm perfect and I'm always right. No, 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 no. You're saying that you like never break your rules. You're never undisciplined. You always behave properly as a trader. Is that your claim? That you're perfectly disciplined? Man, just bleeding. What were you saying, Lance? This has got to be the bottom. I'm with you there. Man, come on. Just like 10 minutes ago, I was saying, man, does anybody else have the catch the falling knife voice? Like, really, this thing can't go down even more. Oh, yeah, it came down some more. I was $50 short of my profit target and went until even. I don't know how that happened. Hidden stress me. Yeah, well, I have $29 I have to make tomorrow on this account to pass the test. I maxed out on it today. I can't during test phase can't make any more than 1,500 on it. So I got 39, no, 39, excuse me. $39 more I got to go on it. Whoop, that's quite the spike. So yeah, hopefully I can get that job done tomorrow. Markets are struggling with a lot of volatility. The funny thing is, and the crazy thing, Drew, is like, I sort of disagree. Just in the sense of, is this volatile? Is it volatile compared to what we saw last week? Last week, this is almost like watching paint dry. But, I mean, that just shows how crazy last week was. But yes, in any normal situation, this would be like, whoa, this action is crazy. But I think that really just goes to show how wild things have been. I see what you're saying. I misunderstood. So, I mean, what is your claim? DSWCR. I get out when I get scared sometimes, when I shouldn't. I fire off on FOMO on occasion. All I was saying, if those mistakes lead me to losing 12 points in a day, I walk away. Okay. So you are not the perfect trader. You get scared. You suffer a FOMO. Okay. Thank you. Then you have not claimed to be that's all. So my point is this. Is because way back when you're somehow like trying to like defend, well, this person, if they are this and if they are that, then yeah, let them use their own money. But this all came back to, yeah, but that's a really big if, because there is no perfect trader. Everybody is going to do dumb things, you included. Thank you for admitting that. And my point is, if you're going to do dumb things, especially as a new trader, I would rather have those dumb things only costing you the cost of the prop firm account as opposed to your entire account, which is that math I went through. So like I said way back, I agreed with what you said. You said, well, if the trader does this and this and this, and I'm like, fully agree, but that's a really big if, because people tend to do stupid things, especially new traders. And then it started to come across like you were saying, well, I never do anything bad like that. All right, then we're in agreement. All right. So we talked past each other a little bit. But Matt seems like the type of fellow that's just going to have to learn the hard way. But we tried. We tried as a chat. I tried as, the host. I tried as the host. I know some of you are trying to, but sometimes people just got to learn. I don't know. For all we know, did Matt already play this move? Did this just wipe out his thought? I don't know. I'm trying to transcribe his answers. Powell's answers you're trying to transcribe? All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it good. The likes seem stuck. And yeah, we're up over 3. Again, granted, we had about 20 minutes where the internet was out. So hopefully on YouTube, I think YouTube will automatically cut it down and we won't have that big blank. Well, yeah, it wouldn't be. I'm just thinking to myself. Yeah. Okay. So that will cut out. So, yeah. Then somebody takes away like, all right. Well, as always, if anybody is interested, I am doing a webinar tomorrow night. So if you're curious, you want to join, and if you do get signed up with that link, there may or may not be a special deal baked into the sign-up process. Now, the webinar is free, but there may or may not be a deal to get my my private community at a discounted rate if you were to go through the sign-up process there. But yeah, check out that tomorrow night on 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then if you do want to come trade with myself, other really good traders, other traders that are a whole lot better than I am, then you can check out that link right there. And then if you are already in the prop firm space, and you're looking to support the channel, and you want to either get another Take Profit Trader account or give Take Profit Trader a try, that link at the top, use code Clay, and I appreciate it. I thank you in advance. Like I said, if you want to use that code to just help support the channel. Oh, and then one other thing, just because I'm sure you're all aware now, but just in case, for you Apex traders out there, they are running a current 80% deal. So again, if you're Apex and you're thinking of getting more accounts or whatever, I would definitely call Apex more for the advanced prop firm trader. But like I said, if you are an Apex trader and you're looking for a way to, like I said, support the channel, then code Clay at Apex will also allow you to do that, and I thank you in advance for that. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit sooner than that. But I appreciate everybody's time, and glad we had some good conversations. And I wish everybody the best. So everybody go out there and trade smart, trade discipline the rest of the